All right. Welcome to Min to Max 20. Tonight we'll be continuing our Through the Frost Trail arc, episode 11. That is where we've reached, thankfully, which is funny because this was intended to be like a 4 or 5 games, and now we're at 11. And I think we'll be running for probably another 5 to 6, but that is, I guess, unnecessary details. But anyway. I think we are all ready to go. I'm pretty sure Sir Denrick is grabbing something last minute. What's up, Connor? Looks like you want to say something.
I was going to make fun of Sir Denrick. We're good.
Oh, nice. Okay. Do your thing.
Mute.
Do your thing. Let me go ahead and make sure that this is all right. All right, that is all good to go. We got the chicken part of the stream.
The behemoth.
Emotional sports school.
The chicken.
The behemoth.
All right.
Big fan.
What can I show? I don't even know.
Them fucking nuts, boy.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. Hopefully the storms don't return and destroy my my livelihood here. We should be good though. That shit blew over pretty. Oh, it looks like it's
coming back.
We'll be
with a
fine.
vengeance.
Guys, we're good.
It looks like we better hurry up.
You just see a flash of light. My whole it just explodes and then it cuts.
Hey, that's content, baby. That's showbiz.
That's showbiz, baby. All right.
Do you by chance have a chicken pot pie?
Hey, yo, we got Gray in the chat. What's up, Gray? Good to have you here, homie G.
Great, it's good to have you, bud.
Let's go, Scotty. What's up? What is happening? How does this work? Chat paused due to scroll. How do I resume that? Oh.
Todd, you're muted. Todd, you're muted. As he's palming the fucking...
Bro, Tyler, one moment incoming. Tyler, one moment.
There's no lie about it, Todd.
Tyler,
I believe you, buddy.
This man says unironically, Tyler, one moment incoming.
Bro, you haven't seen the clip of him showing off his spaghetti and it drops onto his keyboard?
Try to get the angle and just spills.
No, I have not, but that sounds great.
Funny. It's so funny.
Hey, make that as one of those like soundboard things.
All right, boys, let's jump right into tonight's episode so that we can maybe do some alleged dungeon crawling. So let's do it. So to recap, thus far, well, I'm not going to go all the way back to the beginning, but our intrepid band of hires for Aksov, a protection detail. As you guys were making your way along the Frost Trail, you guys encountered a goliath that was seeking refuge within a tree. And upon further investigating, you realized he was part of a clan known as the Grey Wolf Marauders. Kind of trying to glean as much information as you could from him, you found out that the rest of his clan, at least this this kind of excursion group that was from the main body, was resting at the ruins, and that I mean, you offered that you could take them back because since you were already heading in that direction, so you did. Upon some other interesting endeavors and interactions, you guys eventually made your way to the ruins and returned Korzak to his clan, and then eventually met Garmal, the clan's leader. Having kind of discussed back and forth a bit, he ended up inviting you to bed down with them within their kind of encampment. Hey, I knew. But as you guys established your campsite, and you kind of went over to the fire and kind of sat down with him. You guys kind of discussed back and forth motivations for endeavors and potentially descending into the ruins and hopefully maybe finding a way to recover an artifact that Zahir had seen in his I guess for lack of a better term, vision. However, as you guys broke away from the fire and went to investigate before night set in, you guys were attacked by a group of Remorats, these fire-like furnace bugs that laid waste to a good chunk of the clan and did some serious damage to the party. However, with valiantly, you guys fended them off, and once they kind of were repelled, you guys reconvened. The clan obviously suffering some heavy casualties, and so you guys kind of had some discussions back and forth, and kind of discussed where things were going to, how they were going to go forward, I guess. Garmal, kind of speaking for the clan, said that he was going to him and the rest of his remainder of his group there were going to head back in the morning. However, you guys were basically like, "Hey, we came here for some stuff, so we're gonna go and figure out what's how to get access to these ruins." And so, spending some time in investigating, you eventually did, and you guys kind of made your way into that first tower, kind of investigated, looking around, and some ominous signs were seen that might have the group collectively kind of thinking this is a crypt of some sort or something might be housed beneath. However, as you all backed up and headed back to the camp to kind of reconvene with Garmal to kind of discuss Garmal and his group to kind of discuss where things stand now that you have gained entrance into the tower. That is where we last left off. Also, thanks to Virden, the group is now called Aksov's Jakovs. And so that is where the group stands.
We got a necklace out of it.
It's true.
You
as
get
that.
that one.
It honestly not the worst trade deal in the history of trade deals.
Got some bling, dude.
Yeah, you got some
All right.
baby schools on a piece of rope, dude. It's pretty
Look,
cool.
his clan members died so I could have that necklace.
All right, so with that, we pick back up. We have having left off just as Virden like staking in the last sensor spike, kind of outside the exterior of the ruins, kind of along the actual frost trail pathway. As you kind of hit the last portion of it into the ground, you are now collectively all making your way back towards the fire. The snow continuing to come down heavily, the cold of night kind of taking hold, and you all kind of have to bundle yourselves up a little bit tighter as you continue to as night continues onward. But as you guys are now about 10-15 feet away, Garmal kind of standing still. As you guys left as Virden and Sir Denric, you left to kind of approach the group that was in the ruins. Garmal was standing, and as you're making your approach back, he is still standing, or maybe have stood back up as you guys were heading back. And I will say, not to say that the group itself, the Goliaths, weren't necessarily at the ready, but their weapons were at their sides, but they weren't necessarily, armed by any means. However, as you guys are approaching, for the most part, the majority of them are still sitting. I would say Garmal, both the druids, they're standing, but the rest of them, they're still sitting. However, their weapons are in their laps, they're off to their sides, and they're all kind of just making, being prepared for anything that might have arisen as your group now makes your way back into this space. Garmal calls out to you. So, is there, what did you find?
Well,
So you
we
get
were
five.
able to get inside the ruins.
You're able to get entrance into the actual, to the tower itself.
Oh yes, the front door is more or less open now. There is sign of some basilisks, similar to what your other tribe members ran into earlier.
At this point, you guys are all kind of now back towards the fire. If you want to take seats again, you can. If not, you can continue to remain standing. But you guys are now kind of all like semicircled, kind of collectively back at the group. Garmal. What do you mean there's signs of basilisks? What might be these indicators that you're speaking of?
There was a man crawling up the staircase, turned fully into stone.
You kind of see his expression kind of a little bit hardened, kind of eyebrow raises, and he looks over to Favior. Favior kind of looks at him. Favior speaks up. You saw there was a statue or a petrification of an individual, which is what leads you to believe there might be basilisks in the ruins themselves.
Indeed, yes.
He looks over to Garmal. Looks back to you guys. That's very interesting. I mean, it's not impossible to say the least, but I mean, for as far as we could tell, no one has been in the actual ruins of the tower portions, either tower. Have not been in there. I mean, since we've been around, since our clan has been around. So I don't know how that could necessarily be the case. But
Can I clarify something? So did they? They never really like specified why they were sending pe- people out to like the wizard's tower, right?
They said that they were just
Wizard's
doing.
tower?
They said that they were doing reconnaissance. They said that they heard of something about an individual living over in that area, and that potentially because of that individual being there, that there might be things, resources, or something along those lines. So that's the reason why they were going over there. It wasn't necessarily just because
Oh yeah.
they were just like, oh, let's go. There was the impression that if someone was residing over there, there might be resources worth gathering. But obviously, you saw how that went down when the group that was going over there was attacked by basilisks, which Korzak had told you, and then Garmal had kind of told you.
Gathering resources.
Well, they were investigating to see if there was anything potentially profitable.
Murder him and take his resources. All right. Anyway.
But everyone looks at you expectantly.
Me? Is
Yeah.
This doesn't seem to be a regular occurrence, is it? These basilisks.
At which point now the other druid that you have come to know is, I think, Noria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Noria. Yeah, she pipes in. She says, no, not necessarily. The basilisks, they tend to stick closer towards mountains, and they burrow a lot of times when it comes to resting or nesting or residing, in territories that they establish themselves. So it is quite strange your proposal of basilisks potentially being within these ruins, considering that there was no actual entry. That's where it might be a little bit hard to believe that there is that they might be residing inside, unless they burrowed. But
That was my thought. Yeah, maybe they burrowed.
it's all perplexing.
It kind of seems like a strange coincidence.
Because the main characteristic that's worrying me is these basilisks and then the remorazes. Both of them are burrowing creatures, and just being around the ruins, having both of them around seems a bit almost intentional. Like almost like a way to circumvent whatever was keeping us or keeping you guys for so long from getting in through the front door, is just burrowing far enough down that perhaps there wasn't anything checking for a lock. I don't know to what end, especially it's not like necessarily an intelligent creature, but...
Whoa, as Garmal speaks up now. His hand's kind of like resting on his hammer, kind of off to one side as he's standing up, and he's kind of just like propped up one arm on his hammer. The only thing that makes me apprehensive about, assuming that they're basilisks that were within there was that me and Fabio have been talking, and it's just interesting because I think the reason why the Remoraz that they attacked us, and that's obviously the basilisks seemed for attacking the reconnaissance party, that was kind of mountainous terrain, and so it makes sense as to why they were there. Potentially, this sorcerer of sorts might have been, using the basilisks as some sort of defense. Now, the Remoraz, the conclusion that we have drawn is that because there were so many of us encamped here, moving about and investigating, that obviously these insects, they can, they have ways to feel, throughout the earth as to what is transpiring on the surface. So I think that it was mainly our presence here that really brought these bugs to light. At which point, Aksov, kind of standing at the back of the group, is going to kind of speak up. And honestly, Zahir, you said that, we all felt it, that the vibrations of the kind of supports coming out of the actual base of the ruins itself. I'm curious as to if maybe that is, as he kind of gestures back towards the ruins, you can tell, looking kind of towards both the destroyed buildings, you can tell that obviously the exterior buildings suffer some sort of structural damage, but the main place itself seems relatively unscathed, and so I'm curious as to if maybe those vibrating kind of half arches are maybe like a barrier, or they're creating a barrier of some sort. I'm not sure, but I just feel like if there was, I don't know. It's just
Yes,
weird.
I guess we haven't been able to. Well, we haven't checked those support archers since since we've passed into the tower, so that might be gone. If those are correlated.
Would my detect magic that I cast while I was inside, would that have picked up on any of that?
It was too far away. You were within the tower. It would have been outside the 30 feet. I'm pretty sure detect magic is 30 feet, right?
30 feet, yeah.
Also, something we could also try is if we wanted to, we could potentially see if the tunnel that the Remoraz retreated from, it could maybe see if maybe it leads to the actual to deeper within.
One
I don't
second
think
here,
anyone
Jared.
wants to go crawling down that hole.
Detect magic is only 30 feet, but it lasts 10 minutes.
Okay,
So
so I
I'm
said.
still at this point probably still have detect magic up, and if I walked by them, perhaps.
Yeah, so as you walked by them, they did illuminate with a
Okay.
magical presence. It did not seem to dissipate with this conjecture of like, oh, did it maybe it disappeared? They were still illuminating some sort of magical aura as you walked down.
Okay. Cool. That's pretty much it. I just know it's not like, I don't know, a tuning fork or whatever in the ground. You know,
Yeah.
it's magic. All right, cool.
Anyway, tell them no one wants to crawl down the hole.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I don't want to either, so I don't know. It could be
And,
it could be the multitude of things.
There's nothing else you know about this mage. I think, I don't know, usually, I guess, can't really explain it, then maybe it all is connected. It just seems a little bit too, I don't know, convenient, I guess.
Are you saying this to Garmal?
Kind of saying this to Garmal or the druids, just kind of as a...
Garmal kind of looks to the sides, looks at the group, and a lot of the other Goliaths kind of sitting down. He looks towards them and sees if any of them else want to speak, and a lot of them don't really say anything or pipe in. But yeah, well, it could be connected, it could be not. But regardless, though it is beneficial to your group's endeavors that you have found entrance to the tower, I think that we will continue to push off in the morning. This won't disrupt what we've already kind of, as a collective, have set out to do. So,
Fair enough.
If someone from your clan wanted to stay and assist us, at least on our end, I'd be myself, and hopefully the rest of the Aksovs, Jaksovs here would be open to that, open to the assistance. But I understand you guys have sacrificed a lot recently, so there's no need aside from your own personal responsibilities here.
as you say that, Garmal just looks. Well, I mean, they've gained entrance as he looks to, not to the druids, but to the group kind of sitting in front of him. His, the archers and the axe wielding Goliaths. Well, they've gained entrance. So, are there any of you that are so curious as to join these individuals? At which point, you do see two of the male Goliaths. One of them that kind of has the bear kind of cowl, kind of skull, kind of whole what is it called? Business going, as you can see that he and then you see what that. Say again.
He uttered the
Really?
word business.
Oh, ensemble. Ensemble was the word that I was looking for. He kind of has like the kind of the bear kind of half head ensemble as it kind of connects the rest of his attire. As he's kind of holding his bow at the side, and you can see that he kind of starts speaking in giant to his axe wielding brother, which I think you Zahir would know that they are.
No, I mean, oh,
Zahir,
It'd be Morello and I.
No. Zahir, well, you would know that they're brothers because you met them. You saw them kind of reconnect and talk, discuss. The other members of the group will not, but you see them kind of look towards each other, and they're discussing a giant, which Morello, you would Morello and Virden, you would both hear as they kind of are like whispering back, kind of back and forth. I will say, actually, go ahead and both make perception checks for me, because they are kind of speaking low. With their deeper voice, it's a little bit hard to
Ooh.
discern.
That is a dirty 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're muted.
You might be muted.
What? Fine. There we go.
Okay. You're
Not
like
even 5.
you're
Nodding.
yeah, you're like trying to pick it up. Like you are leaning in trying to listen, but it's so low and they're talking pretty close. It's hard to pick up. But Bearden, you do hear the one with the archer kind of speaking to the others. I mean, we did come here for, to investigate the ruins, so I wouldn't be necessarily opposed. As the other one kind of speaks back. I mean, we already lost so many. I don't feel like we should risk anything further. The other speaks back. You're right, but you know what? As you now see the archer kind of speaks up to your group, kind of looking at you guys, kind of shifting his body position. What's in it for us if we were to join you?
I guess we'll figure out whatever is down there and kind of go from there.
Yes, we
I
don't really
don't know what
what's
to-
there either.
All we know for sure, right, is the promise of danger.
I mean,
That's a
we don't really
certainty.
know we don't really know what's in it for us.
Yeah, we're just going down a hole, man.
Okay.
Going down a lead-lined hole.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Which one of us?
Bearden.
We're just going down
Ah,
a
god
hole.
damn it, my big mouth. Okay, well, disadvantage. I got a natural 20 and then a 15. 15 puts it at 18, I want to say.
Oh shit.
Persuasion?
Yes.
Persuasion, I have nothing, so actually it sits at a 15.
It sits at a 15. You see him kind of
I
chuckle.
don't want to lie to the guys, right? It's
Yeah,
a lead-lined hole.
You
We're
kind of
going
chuckle. Kind of chuckle. He looks back to his brother. He looks back to your group. We'll have an answer for you in the morning. But we are interested, but we'll see. As they kind of go back now, kind of eating their food, going back for
Munch.
going back to eating their gubs.
You just invited the loot to be split 2 more ways.
No, Todd, I invited people to absorb blows for
Dude,
the
you're a
Blade
master.
That's what I
He said,
did. I know what I did.
Meat
I know what I did.
to be
Hey,
in front of me.
You rolled some.
Bearden doesn't know what
Wow.
happened. Connor knows what happened. Right?
He said I acquired more hit points in the form of others.
Very temporary hit points, because they ain't getting no healing spells.
Your ass doesn't even know any healing spells.
All right.
He said he only knows how to adventure.
So, with that, as the kind of silence falls amongst the group, is there anything else you have to discuss?
Nothing I'd like to discuss, but there's something I'd like to do when we start breaking off.
Okay. So if there's nothing else I'd like to bring up, Garmal goes, all right. Potentially you might have a couple other, couple allies down there, but I do, and he kind of looks over to you, Sir Denrick, kind of, you can see he's making eye contact with you, but also looking at the necklace as well, as he kind of looks back and forth. All I ask is that you do your best to keep, what remains of my group alive, if they do join you down there. Obviously, they understand that it is going to be, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be more than likely safe, but I do ask that you treat them as one of your own. But we'll see what their answer is in the morrow. But if there's nothing else that we have to discuss, he kind of nods at you. If there's nothing else that you'd like to discuss, I say we go ahead and bed down for the evening and, take a load off considering what we've been through already today. At which point he kind of slides his hammer back into the snow and kind of sits back down. All right.
Yes, I think rest would be
Alrighty.
very beneficial. And, yeah, I'll straight head into my tent.
I'm ready to take a fat sleep.
Okay. So as you guys, are you moving your tent? You guys moved your tents, right, or no?
I think we did, yeah.
I
I
think-
think I had moved the tents of the people who went into the rooms.
I think you
Well,
moved.
your
No,
unseen
no, you,
servant.
no, you. Oh, the unseen servant did. Yeah, the oxen. You,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. The oxen moved the. No, the unseen servant moved the ox, but you guys have not moved your camp. I don't think.
That sounds about right. It don't matter to
yes,
me. My
the
tent's a
ox.
spell.
Okay.
I
So
don't
I
give
mean,
a
if you want
shit.
to spend the time, and I will say this, just because you
I
guys
need
are,
to set up my tent again.
you got like halfway there, so you don't have much longer. However, it is starting to get cold, and the cold is starting to kind of set in. So, actually, you guys were standing around the fire, so that kind of helped. But you can tell that it is starting to get cold, and so, bedding down, bundling up, and
Should we move or no?
I mean, that would probably be safer.
Alright, I'm good to move.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll move my
Probably
pen as well.
should.
Okay.
While they begin
Are we
moving their
moved?
stuff, I do want to make my way kind of back towards the ruin.
Okay, sounds good. So as the collective group kind of starts to make their way, through the little dividing tree line that where now all the oxen are kind of held up at this point. You guys are making your way over. I will say Zahir, unless you're intentionally stealthing, Zahir, you do notice or you do see kind of Virden kind of start to walk his way back towards the ruins if you want to do anything. But the group kind of makes their way towards their tents.
I don't think I'll stop him.
Okay. So I mean, yours is already half broken down, Zahir. So you just kind of go in there, you kind of pull the couple stakes, and you get yourself situated. The rest of you guys are starting to kind of bury your stakes and start to move your tents. Virden, what would you like to do?
I would like to make my way back to the Remoraz's body and
Okay.
kind of look it over a bit.
Yeah.
I didn't take the opportunity to do that before.
Okay.
Chew on it.
He's gonna
gonna
eat it.
Look, there's a pretty significant chance I cut off a haunch of meat, but what I'm going there for is not.
So as you make your way, kind of stepping over the rubble, from the kind of destroyed archway into the ruined space again, you make your way over to the body of the smaller Remoraz. It's still a large creature as it lays there, kind of curled up, kind of like half curled in its long kind of insectoid body. You do see as you make your way over there that the head of it is completely clean cut off. And you can see that some of the facial features are kind of torn into. As I think Sir Denrick, you grabbed a couple teeth from its face, and I think that
Maybe
was
one.
you have like one or
Wait,
two.
you
So
wouldn't.
you cut its head off and then left its head there.
No, you wouldn't leave it. You wouldn't see its head because I threw the head in the hole.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah. So you see it's only its neck and lower body there in the space. You can't really see where the head is.
I have one important question, which is when we walked past this,
Mhm.
and I had my detect magic active, did I detect any magic on the carcass?
No.
Okay, thank God. That's great. Well, in that case, I think already having done that, I'd be satisfied without looking much further into it. I think really at this point, I'd like to investigate it, looking for any kind of more rare components or things, because Remorazes are a pretty rare creature. It may be something I could find and resell later down the road.
I sprint back up there for hacking it apart.
I would say make a.
Or you
Okay,
can-
so I would say you can make a multitude of checks here. You can. Let's see. I would say make a survival check for me.
Ooh, dirty 20, baby.
Okay.
I have a +1 of this.
So you being from far off realms and kind of having an interesting kind of understanding of where things can be, the lines of value kind of start to shift as you go from different places across the far reaches of the universe, and so just you knowing kind of, and you kind of are you being an individual that understands the weird kind of components that make up certain spells and make up certain concoctions and make up certain things. I would say that you could discern that the eyes could be of value. They're like these jet black, large kind of beady eyes, and as you look closer to them, they almost kind of have like the fly kind of like kind of construction of where you see like the not like the lens, like the multi, like it's not completely spherical. It has like the multitude of just different kind of like different little sides to it, kind of sectioned off, and so you see that, and you could
Different, like, yeah.
exactly kind of like an eye, like the bug and like Not an eye. Sorry, a fly. That's the word I was missing. The fly. I kept
The
saying
eye
eye.
of a fly.
The eye. No, yeah, the eye of a fly. That's kind of what it kind of is consisting of. And then, well, I guess actually, first of all, I mean, just because for simplicity, you found the head. You saw that it was kicked down the hole, or you saw like the kind of the blood kind of spattering and kind of following that kind of pathing. So that's where you kind of like discern where the eyes were. You also see the large antenna attached to its head that could be potentially part of that could be potentially valuable. And then, I mean, it's kind of hard exterior of like a carapace, kind of armoring might be of use, but I would say like the main pieces of value could probably be mainly kind of isolated to the head for sure.
Oh, I'm going down the hole. If I can discern it's down the hole and I can look down and see it's not so like it did like drop down 60 feet, but it's just kind of like in there.
No, it went down kind of a little bit away, but then it got kind of stuck on like an outcropping kind of debris and like piled up like dirt and rock, and so you see that's probably about 40 feet down. Not 40 feet, sorry, like 20-ish feet down. At like I mean, the angle wasn't like down. They burrowed kind of like at like a slight angle, and so even from there you can just kind of see where it's at. And so if you'd like to kind of peer into the or kind of delve into it and grab the head, you're more than.
I'll delve into it and grab it, and bring it out though to de-dress it. I'll mainly just get the eyes. I won't be focused.
What
on
do you
it,
think you're doing?
Is he here?
I mean, I'd say that you're.
It's a Skyrim guard.
Oh shit! Somebody steal your sweet roll.
He said, "Does he appear?" What are you doing? What are you doing?
So as you kind of crawl in, you have to get kind of like almost like on all fours. You grab the head and kind of scurry back out. But you do go ahead and start to kind of using your rapier, kind of start to pry out the eyeballs. Go and make a survival check to see if you can retrieve these eyeballs without damaging them.
15.
Yeah, I would say honestly you managed to retrieve both the eyes without issue. You have two memorized eyes.
Sweet.
Nice.
I'll happily take those, and I'll probably whistling while I'm doing it a little bit, humming a little bit, because this is probably more akin to like the actual work I normally do.
Yeah.
Are those delicacies?
Got my little components, I'm probably trying to think to myself, was this already on an order I'm forgetting about? I don't have my list with me, but worst case, I resell it somewhere all along down the road, whatever,
Yeah,
That's
and
nice.
I will say, as you are like kind of extracting them from the head itself, they are firmer. They're not like firm like a rock, but it's like they're oddly firmer than you thought they'd be. Which in the back of your mind kind of gives you a little bit of peace, knowing that like say you get in a scuffle or something, they're not gonna like explode. But
Okay, I didn't even think about that.
The
eyes explode in my back.
The integrity of the eyes seem to be a little bit harder than others that you might have come across. So there's at least that. And so eventually you pull out like a sucking noise. You kind of like relinquish the eye from the thing as you see like the kind of the eye stem kind of still attached a little bit. You kind of sever it down the way, and you pocket both of those into your bag.
Nice. I will take the head and kind of toss it at the stairs a little bit, kind of just like at the tomb. Yeah, fuck you. Just a little, just a little less like whatever's in there, go to hell.
Okay.
But I think with that, like I already strayed from the party enough without speaking with them, so I'm gonna make my way back.
Okay, and that was probably about half an hour or so. So,
I'm gonna kick your pocket like that one dude kicked Napoleon's tots, dude.
they're just in my cargo shorts, like, just two avocados.
Hey, give me some of your loot. No, go find your own.
It literally was your loot. You kindly shared it with me. I appreciate it.
Eat eyes like some savage. I don't know if that's a delicacy where you come from.
I'm about to find out.
So, what is the rest of the group doing? As you guys are moving your tents, are you guys speaking, or are you guys just kind of getting it figured out and going to sleep?
Shit.
Getting it figured out.
Go sleep.
Yeah, dude. It's been a long day, man.
It has been a long day. So as you guys kind of quickly nail down your stakes, get your tent set up, quickly find your nice thick kind of fur blankets that will help kind of keep the cold at bay. I would say by about the time that you guys are kind of wrapping up, finishing kind of setting up all your tents and moving them and clearing off like different areas so that they're not just like laden in deep snow. Virden makes his way back. But you guys at this point are now kind of all getting tucked in for the night. Is there anything, Virden, you're going to create the dome? And unless there's anything else that you guys would like to do,
I'm just going to ask to our party if anyone wants to hop in the dome with me. It's just like a quick thing I just kind of do.
But
you have to make the decision now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go.
after I get all my stuff set up, I would like to cast Mending
Oh, cool.
on Sir Denrick's lance.
Okay.
How does that
So
work?
as you hold both pieces kind of in your hand, as you almost like when you you're gluing something together and you hold both pieces like next to each other and they kind of keep them taut, to make sure that the connection's solid. You kind of hold them both together, and as you kind of speak the incantation, this
Hang on one moment.
almost this like this.
The end of it like exploded. Like
No, the end of it. Bro, it's magic. Shut the fuck up. Watch. Hey,
Do you want your lance or
you
not?
say this
Hold
to
on,
you say this.
No,
You say this to
hold on,
Zahir as
hold
Zahir is casting the spell, and the end of your lance just forms back and reconnects, and it's almost it's like new. As your skeptical self was like,
well, I mean,
Did
like,
that
you
shit
let the magic
explode?
Create a new part for it.
it connected it. So shit.
It mended it.
Yeah.
So you're implying that if a body part wasn't
No.
cut off.
No, calm
Mending
down.
doesn't work. Mending does
hang
not work
hang
on people.
Hang on.
Mending doesn't work
I
on people.
lost something once.
What was
Anyway.
Also-
Anyway.
What do you think it
Um,
was?
I
That's right.
I mend it, and then I would like
Nice.
to kind of lean it up against the exit to Sir Denrick's tent, and then
Okay.
go back to my tent.
Kind of cute.
Sounds good. Morello, you kind of occupy the same space as Virden as Virden invites you over to the dome. However, it's not up, but he's like, come on over. And so you're now
I just let him know, like he has to be here to get in.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll just.
Imagine that's the sound of.
Mm. Mm.
And I'm making the noise. The magic is not itself fake. It's supposed to be. But yeah, I'm just doing that casting and all that jazz.
So, as the dome eventually apparates, and you all are kind of, Morello and Virden, you're in the dome, kind of out from the elements. Kind of, it's warm, Morello. It's warm in the tent, which is kind of a nice feeling you're sitting out there, kind of tucked within your cloak. But then as it apparates, the cold is immediately cut off, and it's now just a nice, gentle warmth within the dome. And so as the rest of the group kind of settles in for your night's rest, is there anyone taking watch? Y'all just packing it in?
I would like to occupy a space closer to the ruin with the dome, just for the sake of the sensor spikes, and I'll leave Baldur outside. Kind of do what it needs to do.
Okay, so if
the DM's asking you to set up a watch.
Well, I just want to give you opportunity. If y'all were, I don't want to just be like, everyone could have just been to sleep, and I've been like, well, all right, next morning. But I figured I'd give you the opportunity. I will say, where do you want to be with the dome? Because there's not a whole do you want to be right in front of the ruins? Do you want to be in the middle of the frost trail is? Or do you want to be
proximity-wise closer from the group of the tents and everything, just on the outer circle, nearer to the ruin?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, that's it. So we're not out on our own technically, but
sounds good. Okay, so with that, anyone taking watch or going to bed?
Zahir
I'll
would have
offer
been like
to
a
do
dead
it.
ass.
What?
I died today, so I'm gonna nap.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I
you
also
already-
died today, so
you
I'll
already
go
napped.
to that point.
Oh, he
You
just
all
falls
learned that.
asleep.
All right. Well, I would say the majority of the group is asleep. Aksov's racked out. To Denrick, as you kind of exit your tent to be like set up a watch, you notice that everyone is retired and no one is currently. You do see though, as you kind of poke your head out of the tent to kind of see, you do see that there is a Goliath still up. A lot of them have retired to the evening, but there are still 3 Goliaths kind of sitting around the fire as well. So it's not just completely.
Bless you.
Completely I guess unoccupied within the camp. Or,
And your lance is against your tent.
And your lance is against your tent, fixed.
Say, by the gods. I kind of just, I don't know. I don't know how much would even like surprise him anymore, just because like he's seen a lot of stuff in the last
Whole lot of bullshit.
I don't know, a couple days, couple weeks, 1 week, 3 days. How long have you been out here?
10 years.
I'd say you've probably been out here about a week. If you've been like in the northern reaches, the northern realm for about a week or so.
I guess I'll look at the lens. I'll say, fancy that.
And then you go to bed.
We don't have a fire near our tent,
No,
do we?
you didn't set up a fire now.
I'll join them then.
Okay. Are you just gonna join them, or you want to discuss anything, or?
Oh.
That was a loud ass.
I'm gonna ask them. Ask
For
them
your
if
end?
they care. Ask them if they care if I play a tune.
As you make your way over there, you do see that it is the female druid Noria, and you do see that it is the two individuals, the two individuals that were potentially thinking about joining the excursion within the ruins. And so, as you sit down, they all kind of they look over you, look at your loot expectantly, but they nod and they say, "Oh, yeah, go right ahead."
Nod. I'll play a tune.
Play the Dragonborn Comes.
He for real does.
Go ahead and make a performance check.
Let's go. 19.
19. Yeah, no, you just strumming that thing.
Peppermints. Oof, that's 22.
Oh, you didn't even add your modifier? Damn. So yeah, you're just strumming.
I'm just built like that.
And
All right.
and you can see that with that Noria kind of starting to kind of a little bit like kind of shift her body into to the tune of the lute as you're just elegantly kind of serenading the
Now,
space. Hopefully my power
Sir
doesn't go up.
Chadrick, my man.
Yeah, your chin gets a little bit pointier as you continue to play the.
Your chin just cuts the air. Yeah.
But the other two individuals seem to be enjoying it for the most part. They didn't tell you to stop, so that's pretty good. But it goes off without a hitch, and eventually, I'd say a couple hours goes by, and everything's uneventful. I'd say as you're kind of sitting there, Noria does end up going to bed, end up retiring to the tent, but the two Goliaths, they stick around for the duration of time that you're there. But is there a point you want to retire yourself?
No one offered to stay up, did they?
No one
At least
offered.
Take a
No.
watch.
Look at fucking it. Never mind. It's not technically.
How late, you guys going to be up all night?
No, the one kind of with the axe kind of at his side kind of speaks up. And, no, we're just contemplating some choices tomorrow. But I mean, we kind of figured out a watch schedule. So I mean, if you all want to bed down easy, then that's fine.
You're no way obligated to come with us. And I would even say there was a way we could find you, and depending on what we found down there, we would can't speak for my my group, but I'd be willing to share some of, I mean, I don't know what's down there, riches maybe? If there are riches, then I'd be willing to share some with your clan. You guys sacrificed much here, and you provided us with a place to stay in this this very hostile environment. What say you?
Well, that'd be very generous of you to suggest such a thing. I mean, if you wanted to, we could, as he kind of is looking over towards the ruins, we could figure of a, we could figure of a location potentially that you could leave something, and then maybe once we come back to this area, maybe we can search there, and if you did leave anything, then we'll take it with us.
That could work.
What do you say? Because I don't know how far within the ruins you've been, but there is kind of, as he points over kind of towards the secondary tower, off to the left-hand side, there, the wall does come to a cornered point. It's the farthest point of the wall past the tower itself. So where the far left kind of back corner meets, where the intersection is on the exterior of the wall. If you feel so kind as to leave anything for us, we'll check there.
Very well. I cannot guarantee anything, for we don't know what's down there. But
I mean, the fact that you're suggesting anything, leaving anything is generous enough.
Alright, sounds reasonable to me. And we'll see what you decide in the morning.
They both kind of nod collectively as you get up and return back to your tent.
I guess as I get back to my tent, I'll realize that nobody else agreed to take a watch.
Yeah, no one else is standing out there. No one else is. You're thinking back, and that was not discussed. So you just.
So I take out my tinderbox.
Okay.
Flexing.
You gonna set a tent on fire?
Oh, I was gonna say your tent on fire, but you don't have a tent.
That's advantages, man.
What happens if you don't sleep?
You take a point of exhaustion.
It's bad. It's really bad to have exhaustion. Do not consider this at all.
Do I know that
You get 8 short rests.
Do I know that Virden, I guess last couple times we slept, do I know that like Virden doesn't need as long of a rest? I thought you might have said something like that.
I don't know if he actually directly said anything like that, so I would say no, you would not know that.
Who spent the night? And Kavkin spent the night there one night. After that, maybe it was
Not-
Aksov?
No, it's Korzak, not Kavkin. Kavkin's your ox.
Kavkin, I want to cuddle up with so bad, but a large creature cannot. So yeah, Korzak, whatever.
I guess
Spiritually, he's Kavkin.
You're strange enough, so I'll wake Virden.
So you attempt to go over to the dome, and you cannot enter the dome itself as you go up, and you kind of try to.
The door and knock.
That you can. It's hard, so you can go ahead and knock on it if you like.
Any way for you to perceive noise from outside? Because I believe you cannot hear anything.
Yes.
I believe you can.
Or at least he can't hear anything. I'm gonna check if I can. Cool. If not, I will not lose sleep.
How do you know there's things outside if you can't hear anything?
It does not specifically say you
It
can't.
doesn't say anything about. Yeah, you can hear through it.
Yeah, you can hear through it.
Guess I'll lightly knock.
Okay.
Is
So
it just you or is Morello in there?
Morello's in here too.
I'm in here too.
Yeah, if I can, I'll awake.
yeah, I'd say
Or like
sincere.
out of my trance anyway.
Yeah, since you're more in a trance and you're not necessarily in a super deep meditative state, I would say that with a knock, you kind of come to. Morello, you do not, but
Prison split.
Reardon, you kind of
No,
hear a knock.
I'll do a fucking finger gun at him. Well, spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. Maybe. No.
So you're
I
gonna
don't.
shoot me?
Well, I was gonna shoot a message at you. but
Yo, you can
I did
pop
that-
out the dome.
I did that one time.
You can pop out
my
the dome
head
and
out.
shoot him point blank with it. Pop your head out. Boom.
Can you just like stick your head? Hold on, is the dome like those You know the toy thing where it's got like the little needles and you can make the imprint with like your hand? Have you seen the thing on the internet where it's like there was the big one at the park?
Yeah, it's like the kid gets scared because the
Yeah.
face comes onto
Is
it.
that what Virden does? Is his face just print on the thing?
No.
Reading
Stretches
this,
out.
reading
No,
this
it
now,
passes
through.
I can exit it. It seems like.
Oh, okay.
You can't exit it. You can come out of it partially, but you can't like fully leave.
I'll just
Just
walk up to it,
forget.
like my neck's out. So like my neck is extending out of a black orb on the snow.
It's a black orb.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
a
made
black-
this one black. Normally it's black, unless I want to be camo, then it's white.
You
No,
look
this is a
like
black
an
ball.
abnormally, you look like an abnormally large turtle.
I do look like an abnormally large turtle. Yeah, but it's like, hey, what's up? What's up?
I kind of chuckle a little bit.
Thinking about a turtle.
You I mean, wouldn't mind getting some rest. You able to take a watch?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't even think about that. I was just getting sleep, or getting some rest at least. But yeah, I'll take watch, and Morello's in here. Perhaps I'll wake him for the last leg of it.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
See you in the morning.
Have a
Send.
good night in your
So you go.
have a good night in your orb.
You have a good night in your hide. I don't know what you guys do.
Kinda
Okay,
nod,
go ahead and make a
like,
perception.
turn around.
Who?
Who?
Virda, go ahead and make a perception check.
Me or Balder?
Oh, whatever.
I kind of like.
Oh, whatever's my favorite thing to hear because that means I can use Balder. 18.
18. As he kind of sits above, kind of rested in some of the branches above you, above your dome. Minutes go by. Nox is not having it. I think the thunder is Nox is like losing it, but it's okay. He'll be all right. He's safe in his little crate. As minutes go by, hours go by, time just passes. Nothing of note. Even for you, kind of internally with your sensor spikes, nothing of note seems to. I will say this though. As you guys have kind of bedded down and collectively kind of got yourself, and you had kind of fell asleep, and and Sir Denrick, you're playing the lute, so you didn't really necessarily notice it, but you do look around with Balder, and you do see that the ruins, the fires are no longer lit in the braziers that were initially lit up. They are no longer lit. They have been distinguished. You don't know how long ago they were. They've been out, but they are no longer lit. So.
I think to myself with that's actually probably a point of comfort for me. Because the conclusion I think Virden will immediately draw from that, because his main anxiety about the barrier being down was something could come in or out without our knowledge. And seeing the fire out, at least like, well, we could check it. Hopefully the barrier's still up tomorrow. Maybe it's like a time thing. So I guess like that being out, I think it's just like cool. That means potentially good things.
Okay. So as you think this over, and hours go by, nothing.
Turns out
Yeah,
God
so as
himself cursed the land.
Uneventful.
I'm just like, this is great. This is awesome.
Uneventful.
Yeah, it's cool you think that.
Uneventful night, or uneventful watch, I should say. As you, if you want to pass on the watch to somebody else.
Yeah, I think
can
after a
you
certain amount
leave
of
the
time,
dome to?
after
get
a certain
someone
amount of time, knowing that I need a budget, some more time for me to meditate, I'll wake up Morello then, since he's here with me.
Okay.
So I'll give him a little shake. I'll because I've just realized that. So the color and the light inside of I can control the entire time until the spell ends. So I'm gonna make it dimly lit instead of dark.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of shake Morello a little bit. Okay.
Is it morning already?
Not quite morning, my friend, but Sir Denrick woke me for watch. It's my turn to wake you if it's all right.
Yes, that is all right with me. I will wake you up if I notice anything.
Yeah, please do. And then with that, I guess I'll leave it dimly lit and just meditate because it hopefully shouldn't affect me too much.
Yeah,
And just let
it's
it go
not.
from there.
I mean, your body is so fatigued. You quickly can just.
My body's so fatigued. I'm like, God, finally.
Am I able to smoke my pipe in here, or should I step out?
Yeah, you're welcome to.
Bro,
Actually,
he's got
if
a
anything,
hot
it's
box.
gonna help
He's
me
hotboxing
a little bit.
the
So,
real
hotboxing.
tiny
It's a
hut.
hookah lounge, dude. I'm gonna meditate hard.
Yeah, I'll just kind of sit and watch near the ruins.
Okay, make a perception check.
Also, I will say, while I'm in the tent, like I don't have my like hood on or anything, so I'm all tattooed up, have the gauges piercing and such, all freely visible. I'm kind of sitting there, probably shirtless, just meditating.
It's hot.
It's comfy. Well, it's not hot. I'm lanky. But it is just like, hey, I'm comfortable.
You got the skinny pack, the skinny 8-pack right there. You're just like.
No, I do not. Not even.
it's like it's just
Yeah.
bone, and then it's just a fucking beer can.
No, it is just flat, and then arms happen.
Oh shit! What'd you roll, Morella?
21.
21. So you're not distracted by this shirtless, yadded, gauged out elf. Though you do pay special attention briefly, but then as you're looking around, you're just listening out, nothing. As a couple hours go by, nothing eventful seems to occur. However, the snow does continue to hold up. It kind of lessens and it kind of gets heavier at times, but it does continue pretty evenly of the kind of moderate pacing as it descends. As the wind kind of, and you hear the trees kind of all kind of shift and kind of then come to rest before more wind kind of, as it like dislodges snow, and you can hear kind of some different kind of at different points in the night as you can hear the snow being dislodged from the tree canopy above. But it is quiet. You guys are looking around though, and I will say, Virden, you did notice this for your watch as well. You do see there is a Goliath. There is one Goliath still over at the fire. Morello, you can see that there. You can because you're looking around. You at one point hear kind of the kind of I guess the rustling of wood as you look over, and you can see that one of the Goliaths is like throwing some more pieces into the fire itself. As it kind of as you hear like the clunking and hitting together. As the fire starts to envelop, you hear like the popping of the wood. But yeah, uneventful.
Yeah, I'll just kind of stand there and watch the Goliath every once in a while. I am gonna pull out my book of giant research too, and I'm gonna start just like marking things down that I saw while we were with the Goliath clan.
Okay. Sounds good.
Oh, they're technically not giants, though.
Like half.
They're
giant.
big.
Giant. I mean,
They're like half. Yeah, they're like giant blood. They're obviously not like giants, but I guess you wouldn't know this, but you, Todd, can know this. That yeah, they're like lore wise, like
Game, dude.
oh shit. But yeah, as you pull out your research, you just kind of annotate things, looking it over.
And then I'll just kind of hang out until the morning.
Okay. But yeah, I would say you guys offset your shifts long enough to where you guys all got collectively long enough for a long rest, but only required three of you. So as Morello, you sitting there and you kind of every once in a while poke your head out. You eventually do see the the sun start to rise over in the you see the sun rising
East.
in the
Rises
I wrote
in
it
the
down.
east, sets
It
in the west.
rises in the east. I knew this. Rises in the east and sets in the west. Got it. Took me one try. Let's go.
You nailed it. First shot.
One
Yeah.
take, Andy.
No worries. But you do see the sun start to rise in the east. Kind of over the distant horizon on which you're supposed to be heading. As you start to see kind of illuminate over the kind of starts to illuminate the space around you, illuminates the sky. However, it is not it is still relatively dim because the sky is still overcast, and I will say that even with the kind of heavy snowfall that was occurring yesterday in the afternoon, it was still relatively gray. It wasn't too crazy, but you can see that the sky overhead now the clouds are starting to get much darker, and the snow is continuing to fall. Not heavily, but still moderate. The wind still sits. Still, the wind gusts have picked up, but not unbearable. But it is for game lingo, it is currently moderate wind, moderate snow. So, but yeah. But I would say that this is just like the early portions of the sun kind of creeping over the distant horizon. And I will say what kind of made you poke your head out is you do see the Goliaths all breaking down camp. It is still dark out. You can kind of just barely see them, but you can see that you can hear them you can hear like the tents kind of collapsing in, and you can hear like the shifting of snow as you kind of hear them shuffling around their space. Make a perception check for me real quick.
Okay, and
With
then
disadvantage.
Doing that.
Is there a disadvantage? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, moderate snow.
Thanks for calling that out, Nathan. That's really
You're
cool,
welcome.
bud. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
I was just checking the rules. I was like,
Yeah.
that was my time.
I was gonna get there. Thank you, though, Mr. Man.
A 6.
6? Nice. Okay, so you see them breaking down their camp.
Cool. I'll wake up Virden, and I'm going to step out and at least say goodbye to our friends before they leave.
At this point, I might as well join you. I'll just go ahead and re-robe, I guess, and yeah, just go
Over
ahead
the-
and
over the cour-
dispel
Over the course of the rest of the night, Virden slowly got more and more nude. Every hour he took off a sock, and then he took off another sock, and then his belt came off.
I like the initial thought of every hour he takes off a sock, so just like hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, hour 4. Just hey,
Like, yeah, how
dude,
many?
it gets frigid. How do I have resistance to cold? Forget the ring. Sock it up.
Socks.
Yeah. The ring is mundane.
But yeah, as Merlo kind of gathers his things, exits the dome, you go ahead and adorn your shirt and the rest of your equipment, and then as you exit the dome, it kind of just like dissipates and dematerializes as you make your way over there. Both of you have dark vision, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, shut up. No, we know you don't. We know you don't have dark vision.
I think you're the only one who doesn't, actually.
So as you guys
I'm a normal guy.
as you guys make your way over to the group, is there anything in particular you want to? You see Garmal at this point, kind of towards the back portion of his tent. You see him kind of reaching into the snow, and you see as he recoils his arm, as you see like a large stake of sorts as it's in his hand. As he then makes his way and kind of rounds to the last corner. You can see the majority of the tent has at this point collapsed in. He's on the last portion now. If you want to go over to him, you see some of the other individuals still kind of taking down their tents. But
I would like to go to the druid Noria. What's her name?
Noria?
Noria. Yeah, sure. I'll go to Noria if she's present.
Yeah, so she's kind of already got her. She's already got her tent kind of down. You see that she's kind of packing up her like a bag of sorts, kind of crudely made, not as nice as like the bags that you can buy in cities and whatnot. But it gets the job done, as you can see. She's kind of leaning over, her staff kind of in the snow off to the side. She looks up. Oh yes. Can I help you?
Oh no, nothing at all. I know you guys are packing up. I just wanted to thank you for helping me in the combat yesterday. I know things were hectic. We had things to settle afterwards, but I just wanted to come and thank you myself.
That's very sweet. Yeah, no worries. I mean, I would hope that just with the character that you and your group have shown, that you would do the same for us or any of us, I suppose. So, I mean, and you kind of already did with bringing us back Korzak. Sadly, he'll be not returning with us, but no, absolutely, no worries. He just kind of like smiles, kind of.
Yeah. Well, anyways, let me give you this, and I'm gonna pull one of the Rimmeraz eyes.
I don't even know what it is.
It's like I don't know. Like these are, depending on where you go, where you travel, these have value, and there's something you can hopefully sell at some point, or at the very least,
Oh, she kind of.
We got one of them.
She stands up quickly and kind of takes it. No, absolutely. We in our clan we definitely use these, and so it's actually very appreciative that you would give this to me. So I guess see it as a debt fulfilled then, as she kind of pockets it and puts it in her bag.
All right, well, have a safe travel, and then I'll leave the conversation and go see who Morella's speaking with, perhaps.
She says, "Best of luck to you. Yeah. Good luck down in the ruins."
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Morello, or is there anyone in particular you want to talk to?
No, I'm just kind of going around and like chatting with any of the goliaths that are nearby and wishing them luck.
Okay, you kind of make your way around, and they'll kind of just nod. And they kind of give you luck in turn. So at which point you eventually make your way to the two brothers who are now kind of taking down the kind of, one of them's folding up the tent, kind of getting it kind of in half and kind of getting it nice and at least more condensed, as the other one is now kind of fastening kind of some pockets on the bags that they both have. As you come over and you kind of say, your farewells, the one with kind of the half skull kind of mantle of sorts is kind of stands up and looks at you, and though it is I mean it is intriguing and it does pique our interest that to descend into the ruins with you all. Me and the heavily armored fellow, we talked last night, and I think we're gonna go ahead and just make our way with our clan, so as to not break any more hearts upon return. So, but we do appreciate the invitation, and we know that if we were to go with you, you would you have our backs down there. So he kind of does like a salute with one arm across his chest. He's kind of.
Well, I am sad to hear that you guys are venturing out, but I hope you guys have a safe journey home and make it back to the rest of your clan, alright? And I'll give him a bow.
And this is like kind of like salutes and nods. And I would say with that is that's like the last kind of couple individuals that you had you said your farewell to. Garmal at this point is now folding up his tent as you and Virden kind of both consolidate now. You, Virden, kind of consolidating at the end of that conversation, kind of standing up there. Unless there's anything you want to say, you guys both can move over to Garmal. Garmal,
Yeah, well, with you.
he's folding his tent, kind of looks over to you and looks back. Oh, you're up earlier than we anticipated. How'd y'all sleep? As he continues to fold.
I rested well, cause it wasn't hard to get sleep considering the work we put in the day before. I'm sure you had a similar situation yourself.
I mean, that's for sure, absolutely. But
Yeah.
I know we had mentioned it. Oh, just in time. And I will say you do now see that there is one of the individuals that was not there at the initial kind of group. You do now see is pushing a large sled kind of through the woods as he's like kind of navigating, and eventually makes their way over towards the group. And Garmal kind of gestures over to it. Oh yes, so as promised, Sir Denrick's new ride. As he gestures over to this large, and it's pretty crude. A lot of the stuff that they have is kind of crude. It's kind of patchwork in design, just because obviously they're a northerner clan where they don't have access to a bunch of tools and high end equipment to manufacture things. However, it looks very sturdy. It looks like it's made out of various large pieces of the wood that the birch wood that kind of surrounds the area. Tied together with like multiple times, knotted with ropes. You can see that it's about probably 7 to 8 feet long, and it's about 3.5 feet wide. Probably almost pushing 4. And it's a very, very large sled. But he gestures over to it. Hopefully that suits your needs. I mean, it's not obviously it's not as effective or efficient as a pack animal. I mean, it does us just right, so.
Well, I think for our purposes, and considering it's a generous gift from you especially, this is this will suit our needs wonderfully. Thank you.
Once again, thank you. You have done our clan multiple services of generosity and of good faith, and so we hope that going forward, maybe down the road, we might see each other once again. So, but until that time, I guess safe travels, and hopefully you find what you're looking for within the ruins, and not anything you're not.
Well, I think we can't have one without the other. So
He kind of laughs. I mean, for what we've seen so far, I think you'd be right. And at this point, he kind of just finishes the last fold on his tent, picks it up, and then starts to kind of set up with the rest of his stuff. At which point, the goliath that kind of pushed up the sled and just left it there, and is now, you can see, kind of going further back into the woods again, probably because they did mention that they have multiple of these, so he's probably going and retrieving more of them. But that one is free for the taking for you guys.
all right, well,
Viable
I
to
guess-
head over there?
I'd like to say that Zahir would also be making pleasantries and saying goodbyes, but I don't want to play that out.
Sounds good. I would
Yeah,
say
ideal,
ideal.
with your passive perception, I'd say you wake up easy enough as you kind of hear the commotion and whatnot.
And then
Which is a little bit earlier than when you guys would normally wake up, but I would say suggest spread it down a little bit earlier than normal anyway, considering that the sun does go down earlier. You guys were probably, I don't know, it's probably 7 or 8 last night that you guys actually finally bedded down. So, Zahir, as you're up, you kind of say your pleasantries, say your goodbyes, but then yeah,
and then return back to do my
Taxes.
do my taxes.
tax season's over, motherfucker.
And I roll whoa.
Shout out to
today.
Corey. No more taxes,
Shout out to
baby.
Corey. Shout out to Corey.
Well-
No more taxes. Everyone thank Corey. There's no more taxes.
Yeah, he did it.
No
he
more
did. He did all the
Everyone
taxes.
knows.
No
yeah.
one-
No more
Let's
taxes.
go.
Took him down from the inside.
We did
Does that
it.
mean no more returns?
He repelled them off for another year, single-handedly.
That means no more taxes ever.
It's kind of like St. Patrick's.
I don't know. I got 2,800 from mine, so.
Oh, okay.
Don't
So
do
I'll
that.
do.
You
I'll
want
keep
zero.
doing taxes.
Zero.
Bro's-
You want the
bro's
number you
flexing.
want back is 0.
Bro's flexing on stream, dude. Hey,
I
show
know.
us the Benjis, dude.
Gave the government a tax-free loan, interest-free loan. Don't do that.
So,
Okay. Anyways, taxes are fun.
so I would say that
Anyway,
so
I
here
would
you
like to,
you consolidate, or you consult your star map. So Denrick, you're now up. What would you like to do?
I just wanted to speak to Garmal before they leave.
Okay, so you approach as Virden and Morello finish your conversation.
Good morning, Garmal.
Good morning.
Yes. See you, you're heading out.
That we are. As we have previously discussed, we will be leaving.
Well, I assume this is, the sled you were talking about.
Yes, this will be, as he gestures over to this nice, fairly large sled. This is, I mean, you can name it whatever you like, but it is now
If
going
it's
to be.
I want to currently be sitting on it, trying to use Mage Hand to sled myself over, just around.
Yeah, so as you walked over, as Morello and Bearden kind of walked away from Garmal, and now you're having this conversation, Bearden is actively on the sled trying to push himself with a mage hand.
Well, it is no warhorse, but will do just nicely. And I appreciate your offer.
It's the least we could do, since we've known each other for short amounts of time, but we've already done battle, and we've already tested each other's mettle, and so I feel like that respect should be paid forward. And so might not be what your old mount might have given you, but I will say they are we make them sturdy. They do they hold up against the inclement weather. So I guarantee that. And so regardless, so it might not be self-driven or move on its own, but it'll get you there.
Well, your warriors' deeds will not be forgotten. It was an honor to fight by your side. And,
I was gonna wait because you kept going. What's up?
Oh, and I made an offer to two of your people that depending on what we find down there, I may leave a little bit here on the corner of the left corner
The back,
of the wall.
the back left corner of the wall, the exterior side of it.
If you were to return to retrieve it, but we have no clue what is down there.
Yeah, well, we probably won't be back here for a little bit of time, at least not in the winter. So, but I appreciate that, and come, maybe early spring, we'll venture back this way, and we'll see what maybe came of your venturing.
Well, we wish you safe travels, and maybe our paths will cross again.
Alright, maybe they will. Hopefully. But if not, may the Earth Mother watch over you and your companions in whatever endeavors you go forward and accomplish.
Thank you.
As you say your piece, I would say, unless there's anything specific the group would like to do, you guys kind of just hang out, kind of see them off as they all kind of collectively grab their stuff. They bring over a handful more of these sleds as they kind of pack up their tents and they pile things on. And really impressive. They kind of just get behind the sleds and they start pushing. And they just start pushing.
Fuck.
And they just start pushing their fucking sleds out of here.
Okay. Okay, guys. Later, dude.
Dude, once it's downhill, don't be laughing at them. They're gonna be
I'm not.
moving.
It's good. They're moving downhill. I do recall there's a mountain that eventually for us that we have to travel across, but up until that, they're doing great.
Well,
For our travel at least.
Right, but you do notice that they actually go like when they do the part, they don't go any more east. They start to head kind of west and start to head back down the frost trail where you guys came from, and so they seem to be going in a different direction from you guys.
You know what this means? All this means is the downhill sled cavalry charge, and my lance is repaired.
Well, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
The sled.
100. Does he get the cavalier ability being on a sled?
I mean, it's so large. I mean, shit, I consider it a vehicle.
Hell.
Look, how much
yes.
does damage increase based off of terminal velocity?
I guess we'll find out when that arises. But you end up pushing us.
It's either gonna go them or me.
Have Sir Denrick ask me about it, because I can get you terminal velocity, no problem.
I don't want what you offer.
But I would say that as you guys kind of push the sled over to your group, you all kind of wake up in the morning, kind of. If you want to start a fire, you can. But I would say that you guys all go ahead and take another half day's rations, seeing as you have to dip into your own supply instead of being able to eat whatever the Goliath brought for the last couple meals. Also,
bullshit.
Also, go ahead and take another half day's rations from your mounts foods. Those of you who have mounts still.
I have a mount. It doesn't require food.
Hell yeah.
Half day for
Is
both.
he able to share his food with us, or?
Half day for both, yes.
Oh no, I'm eating double rations.
You're eating your ox's rations?
It's all food.
Oh shit.
Calories are calories, alright?
Calorie intake, brother.
Alright, so, but as you all, unless there's anything specifically you like to do or discuss, you all, have your meals, you feed your ox, tend to them, and what would you guys like to do now? At this point, as you guys are fed and ready to go for the day.
I think we should. Well, to the group, I think I'll say we should figure out the best place to leave our oxen and whatever gear we're leaving outside. Because I don't think anyone here is wanting to be left behind as everyone else goes down.
Could we pile up some rocks in front of entrances and exits of one of the buildings and then have them in there?
That's kind of what I was thinking, at least in the ruins. Maybe inside one of those collapsed or dilapidated towers would
Do you
be.
think would we at all be able to get them into the door?
I think we talked about already the main door. We weren't able to get them in, right?
Yeah, that would not. They would not be able to.
But perhaps there's an opening on one of the sides of the other towers we could put them in to keep them safe.
But what about Aksov? I'm gonna ask Aksov. Do you plan to come with us? I know this may not be
I mean,
something you planned on doing along the way.
honestly, I feel like there's a little bit of there's a spot in this group that I feel quite nicely, and I feel like it is the lockpicking
Missing
kind of stealth. The stealth. Hey, fuck you. I feel like the stealth and the kind of breaking and entering portion of this party. I think that I bring to the fold, and so I think I will venture down with you. Plus, I mean, who doesn't love a good
Story.
a good dungeon exploration. So I think I will be accompanying you.
Fair enough. Sure, we could use
Plus,
all
I'm
the
not
help we
very
can get.
I'm not very safe out here. My protection detail is within the these ruins, and so I find that probably the safest place for me will be with you.
I hate to admit, I think he's right, guys. I will say at this
No.
point, I'm gonna try to, as we're talking and maybe moving stuff, I do want to get some distance to have a private conversation with Morello, whenever that becomes apparent as we move.
Okay. Yeah, I would say, and like as you guys are all kind of collectively making your way towards the ruins, you kind of step back a little bit, and you guys kind of walking behind the group.
All right, so now that I'll have a moment, I'll speak kind of a low to Morello. Actually, I think I will be paranoid enough, or at least cautious enough to use the message spell.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I will. No, I'm gonna go on a tangent, so there's no point using message because it's only like so many
Yeah,
words.
you'd have to keep
I'll just
recasting.
talk. I'll use words. I'll go old tech. But anyways, to Morella, I'll mention it's like, last night I noticed the lights were out on the ruin or in the tower. So, what did you guys actually do to lower that barrier? Because perhaps it's up again.
I just dipped my face in the pool with the maid in the hands, and the water washed over my entire body, and I was able to get through.
Real
You're
quick,
able to get through.
real quick interjection. As Merle, you're recalling this, your alignment has shifted back towards your original alignment. Same for Yuza here.
Oh.
And I remembered the golden scale. What was that the god of again?
To me,
Was that to you? Yeah. 'cause you
it was the Archangel of Law and Order.
Okay. So could I reasonably deduce,
Chaotic.
or because I want to communicate to Morello, at least a theory about it that as a player I have, because I have meta knowledge, I guess. But I guess is there a role for religion or something where I could guess that like you're like at least ordaining yourself in the water, or in some way like cleansing yourself in that water? Would that be an accurate thing that Virden would be aware of? Like,
Make a religion check.
okay, yeah. Okay, that's cocked.
Make a
That's so-
Catholicism check.
Can I
Ooh,
bless this
ooh.
man?
Should you what?
Can I bless this man for his holy shit?
No.
Religion,
think?
unfortunately, I am proficient in, so that is a 24.
Holy shit. I mean, so you did
Damn.
when we discussed it briefly the night prior. Him and Zahir both mentioned that they had like some sort of kind of internalization or a feeling of some sort. They felt like kind of not like lightheaded a little bit, and they kind of felt a certain way. And so, to some capacity, you think that it could be they could be ordaining themselves, or they could be doing a rite of some sort that bestows upon them.
Did he hear that Aksov didn't feel any of that when he had plunged his face into it?
I would say, yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Okay. Would I be able to reasonably draw the conclusion? Because I feel like my character knows this, at least enough that I drew the line, is that the person who said he was spoken to when he walked through by his side, I feel like that kind of inerted everything. Like that kind of brought everything to a close. Like whatever like magic was going through, whatever magic was
If you can
going through.
if you're coming to that conclusion, you can have that conclusion in the sense of
Okay,
like
I
if
just want
that,
to make sure
yeah,
there's
you're
nothing-
good. Yeah, you're good.
I feel that
With that
okay.
with that religion check, you can deduce that maybe if you're putting this together and this is what you're assuming is happening. I would say with that religion check that it's somewhat founded in the sense that you do know that the water was some sort of ritual of sorts, and if you've come to this conclusion, then by all means.
So anyway, so explaining this to Morello and going through it, I think though like there's a certain sort of like ceremony you're doing to like kind of cleanse yourself, and I think that is like the way you described it. Perhaps it's taking a real effect over yourself. So my thought is, if it's still a thing we must do to enter the tomb, Aksov does it first. I think I am more interested in what perhaps happens with him than, because my thought is, I think, and this is a conjecture, I think normally everyone would have to do it going in. I don't see a reason why you guys had, 2 people went in and it was done, and perhaps it's a magical thing. Maybe the magic hasn't been recharged in a long time or whatever, but the lights went down again, so perhaps that barrier's up. So my thought is that perhaps our friend Zahir is an exception to this in some way. So maybe him going through kind of doled everything down. So I say, like, the Aksov, I'd like to perhaps ask him some questions later on throughout this that perhaps he'd be more compelled to answer honestly. So if you're okay with this, if this makes sense to you, perhaps we go this route. I'm willing to also cleanse myself in this too, so it's not just just him doing it, but
I mean, it does feel a little bit underhanded to use something like this to get straight answers out of him, but from any time I have tried to get an honest answer, he has always seemed to at least lie a little bit about things or leave out details, so I would not mind getting some more straightforward answers.
My thought is we present it like this: the people who have not cleansed themselves, perhaps we do that first, Sir Denrick and I, and then you guys go after us, but just Zahir's before or Zahir's after, or the very last one to do it. That way, if it's even still a thing. We don't know if it's still a thing yet, but that's just my thought as we go forward. Of course, I'm just dragging Kafkin right now. We're still bringing mounts over. Like, we're doing errands, but it's like, let's plot this.
Yeah, I believe it would also be beneficial for both Zahir and I to go last, since we know that the magic will work on us guaranteed, so...
Right.
For,
I'm looking for
more
variables
information.
right now. Yeah.
Yes.
So if we go about it from that
Hypothesis
thought,
tested a few times, scientific theory, yes.
Science.
So I hold up my remaining eye, like, yeah, no, I get it. Just an avocado of an eye. Yeah, no, science. Yeah.
You are
let's
a very
perhaps just do
strange
that way.
man.
I'm
Your,
normal where I come from. Nah, I'm not.
tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get them? Where you were from, or when you got to?
Oh, it's from my hometown. It's a thing we normally put on to, like, runes and stuff to protect ourselves from, like, the shades in the streets and the different types of shadows in the environment type thing.
Interesting. And where exactly are you from again?
Quite far away, but in the spirit of me getting ready to go and perhaps cleanse myself, my home, my birthplace is the Shadowfell, if you've heard of it. That's where I grew up.
I don't think I would have, unless there's something in my religion that would have.
Make a history/lore check, which is the same thing, but yeah.
Is that like someone saying they were born in hell?
I don't think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that bad, but
I think it's like someone saying they're born into Stranger Things upside down.
I may
Oh.
not be proficient in religion, but I am in history. That's a
God.
15.
So I would say you have some sort of familiarity. You know that there are other planes of existence. You don't know necessarily all of them off the top of your head. You do know that there is you do know about Elysium, and you do know about Celeste. Hold on, fuck me.
Hold on, fuck me. Hold on.
Hold on. I'm gonna pull up my notes real quick.
Like Elysium, like
So
Greek mythology
Like the
Elysium.
Matt Damon movie.
no, yeah, the Matt Damon movie. There's actually
The Matt Damon, not Greek mythology, the Matt Damon movie.
Matt Damon is actually a big like religious figure. You know, he's
And
he's
also
worshipped.
he is in this setting, I'm sure.
Can my deity be Tom Cruise? And I'm
You can actually be a warlock of the Great Old One, which is pretty much Zenu.
Okay, so you know the planes of existence of Celesta, which is also referred to as heaven. You also know the plane of existence Elysium, which is basically kind of it's a section, but not really a section of Celesta. It's a different plane of existence, but kind of linked to Celesta itself. And you've also heard of a couple other different places, and so you've heard of of the Hells. And so the Shadowfell, you don't know much about it, but you do know it's a plane of existence. And so that alone, someone saying that, hey, I'm from a different plane of existence, is something a little bit, I wouldn't say off-putting per se, but very curious. That'd be like someone saying, hey, I'm from the moon. It's like, oh, okay, hold the fuck on.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
The here's from the moon.
I was gonna say, so we so party from
That
the-
wizard came from the moon.
Still the best
Would-
line.
Do you mind telling me a little bit more about Shadowfell throughout our travels? I don't know much about it.
Oh yeah, no, it's a very dull place, even by my standards. Not there's where my people lived, it's relatively safe, but if you venture too far out, there's shadows and shades and stuff that'll that tend to get people that wander too far. Not a lot of food out there, not a lot of color, not a lot of personality and life and such. It's it's its own magical place. But to me, this place is magical. It has a lot of life and art and such. So I don't know. It's just a different spot.
Where do you come from?
Hmm?
I said not much art. Where do you come from?
I mean, people would draw on occasion. But no, just because there's never really a reason or an aspiration to do much other than just kind of survive. And thankfully, neighborhood's turning around a little bit. We got some new things going on. Kind of neat out there, but it's still not. It's not where I want to raise my family and all that. So, but it's just where I grew up. It's where I'm from.
You have a family?
Yeah. No, I guess for being honest, yeah, I do. Yeah.
A kid's wife or
Yep, both of them. Yep.
The old ball and chain.
what led you to be away from them for so long?
Oh,
Just
it's just work stuff. Just makes some money, keeps everyone safe and happy. When you travel different realms, you meet different people. Different people have different ideas and certainly different abilities to inform those ideas. So just stuff I do to keep people happy, keep stuff moving, keep my family just unbothered. I guess it's not like anyone's in any danger or anything, but just keep things easy. There's money, money's exists most places you go to in one form or another, right? But
Is your family here in the material plane or?
oh God, no, I wouldn't do that. No, my family's on a different plane. But if you're fine, I'll leave it there. You know, I'm trying to be more open, just because plan on
yes,
dunking my head
I
in
do
a.
not want to push. Yes,
I don't-
in the holy waters.
Yeah, I'm trying to at least get myself ready for that. So, last time I had holy water, it was fine, but fucking, I just felt weird. I felt weird, man. Because there's holy water, then it's like I hold up kind of like my pendant, and it's like it's still a holy thing, but different,
Yes, I understand. I will not press this matter anymore. Thank you for being so honest with me.
Yeah, no, it's kind of nice to talk every once in a while. Appreciate it. But anyway, let's go duper boss here real quick.
I didn't. Do not say it like that, please. But
I need to say
say
it like that. Puts me back on a proper playing field.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here, you are much more convincing than me, so I bless him.
I have a charisma of 10. Sure.
Same.
All right. So as you have had this conversation kind of away from the rest of the group, as you at this point, as the rest of the group, you guys are now kind of having navigated your mounts through the kind of destroyed arch and now entered into the actual space within the ruins. Where are you guys trying to post up your animals? You said one of the destroyed buildings on the left or the right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, which one in particular? The L-shaped one or the rectangular one the rectangular one's on the left, the L's on the right.
Visuals. I think we should do the more rectangular one because there's more space for them to move around.
That's true. It's a little more open now.
Okay.
If we're worried about them being seen from other places.
They have pillars to rub up against in case they get itchy or whatever.
Nice.
Whatever oxen do.
Rub one
Rub
out.
up against a pillar, drops the building on them.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was like, nah, it'll probably be fine.
They'll be all right. But I would say as you kind of you go inside the building, and obviously the floor is fucking old, and so the integrity of the floor is pretty shoddy. But you do find places to which it's not going to just completely cave in and destroy your mount's ankles and shit. So you get all your mounts kind of tethered within within that space. Sir Denrick pushing his sled.
My sled, dude. Don't hate on my sled.
Okay, but unless there's anything specific you guys like to do, you guys, you picking up your sensor spikes as well, Beard, I'm assuming.
Yes, please.
I'd like to set out food for Stuart.
Okay.
I'll do the same.
Go ahead and mark off another half day's rations if you do so that is out of
I'm
your
gonna
routine.
set out a full day.
Okay, sounds good. Whatever you would like to mark.
Yeah, I think I'll do a full day too, just to be safe.
While they do that, I offer them some of my animal food,
I'll
and I
do a
say,
full day's ration as well. That actually sounds like a good idea.
Oh,
the sled doesn't seem to be very hungry.
I think
So I
I'll
offer this
laugh
to you.
here. I think I'll actually
Chuckles to
like, hear it
himself.
a
No one
little
else hears it. Chuckles to
Yeah.
himself.
I think it's like, yeah, if you don't mind, I think Kafka could use some more food. So yeah, I'll take whatever he's offering.
Also, Sir Denrick, did you pack up all your stuff on the sled when pushing it over here?
Of course.
All right, good to know. I was assuming, did y'all break down your entire camp and move everything on your mounts?
Yeah, I think
over?
that was the idea.
Okay,
I would imagine
that
so,
makes
yeah.
sense. That makes sense. That was not specifically said, but I would assume so. So everything's broken down. You guys have all your stuff consolidated with your oxen here in this building as you tie them off and now secure them.
Do we think we should bring some additional supplies down below in case we do have to take a long rest down there? Like, do we? Yeah, we have a back. I can fit something in my backpack to bring down.
Maybe bring like
For
3
long
days
rest
of
purposes.
food, water, or something. But in that case,
Well, I mean,
if we're
you have
planning
the
on 3
normal
days of
explorer's pack.
yeah, but if we're doing that already, we do run the risk of our mounts here having worse problems. So. And I don't know a way to set out 3 days of food without this sumbitch. I'm gonna reference to Kafkin. But this sumbitch here just eating all of it today and being sick for 2 days.
Well, I'm sure they're hardy enough.
Yeah, I agree with that. Honestly, I think that. I mean, we could always send somebody back up if. I mean, before we get too far, and hopefully just keep an eye out. Unless you all would like to leave somebody here.
I think it's best. Let's plan for that. That sounds good. Maybe we keep the food and such here, just kind of out of their reach, and so someone can come up here and feed them real quick if we need.
Yeah, I think I'll like have a slightly extra hearty meal for Stuart for right now. But then
I mean, I can offer them.
1
They
minute.
can eat a good amount of this. It's all extra.
Are you
yeah, I
sure
guess
this
so.
lad won't be hungry? I know you said it wasn't. But...
I will happily take a day's rations for Kafkin. Thank you so much.
Yeah, take 1 day.
Oh yeah, it eats tree branches.
Oh, okay. Well, I would love
We
it.
can find those along the. I'm sure we can forage whatever along the frost trail.
I would not mind the extra food if you wouldn't mind passing some out.
Let me see how much you folks can have. I got like 13 days rations left. Everybody can have like 4. Everyone can have 4 days of rations for their mount.
Yeah, well, including Aksov, that'd be too many. Unless you're just not giving Aksov any.
Oh, I guess just 3 then. 3 for everybody.
Okay.
For everybody.
Sounds good.
Donka. And I'll kind of have all 3 kind of. I guess I'll give Kafkin a full day's rations right now.
Yeah, I think if we're down there longer than 24 hours, there's bigger problems.
I'm letting him eat the full 24 right now. I don't give a shit, dude. Eat up. Get
24
strong.
days worth of rations?
24 hours, I guess. No, you know what? Everyone get your food around, gather it up. Kafkin's eating today.
Kafkin just dies. He come back up. He's...
That's on him. That's what's
All
on
right,
him,
but as
God.
you guys distribute the food kind of amongst the space to make sure that your mouse will be able to eat as needed, you all make your way back up the steps to the front of the tower itself. What are you guys doing?
I suppose
I guess
marching order. It's kind of what I want to figure it
head
out.
on down.
Well, I want to say let's get up there and first thing I want to do is inspect if there's a barrier of any kind.
So as you go up there and you look, you can't like it. Just looking around, you cannot discern if there's a barrier on the tower itself. As you reach out, your hand does hit a wall again. As your hand presses up against it, a shimmer of energy kind of emits from where you made contact with it. Not even able to touch the door, similar to what Zahir and Morello experienced last night. As you hit it. Also, just as an additional note, now everybody can see that the fires are no longer lit in the braziers.
Feeling this, I think I'll say, so this is what you guys were talking about before. All right, well, perhaps the people who haven't done it before, let's do that and kind of go from there, if that's all right. So me and Sir Denrick, wherever he's at, it's like he was called.
He pulls out another bowl of something.
What'd you
In this case,
say here? What did you guys do?
What does that mean?
To open the door? Was it the bowl was mentioned, but like, did I just?
Oh yeah, so just plunge your face into it for a little while, and you'll start getting all introspective.
Why do you want somebody else to do it if we already know a quick way to open it?
I don't think we know a quick way to open. Let's just try different folk now. You know. Because it took 2 people last time. Just I don't think it's fair to put it on the same 2 people.
I mean, I did it as well. Aksov chimes in. I put my head in the water itself, and
maybe it takes 3 then. Okay. But I figure let's spread out the load because the other 2, or at least Morella was telling me, it kind of made them a bit easy or something. I don't know.
It may be important
I
for opening
I just don't want to
things.
find out if he does it again. Big compounds, you know.
May be important for things further inside.
True,
To
perhaps.
have
I mean, it makes sense. I will approach.
And
the
maybe
pool.
that way we all did the ritual ourselves. You know, that can be important too.
Yeah, so we don't want hang-ups down there and have
I'll
to
approach the
backtrack.
pool.
Okay, and so you approach the pool, and do you dump your face into it to perform this this ritual as you've found?
I do.
As you see the angelic statue, kind of hands dipped into the bowl itself. You see the kind of the bowl supported by the structure underneath it. Water kind of just dribbling in, kind of constantly flowing around the space. You kind of rest your hands on the other side, and you dip your head into it. Within it, and you feel that surge of warmth of the water kind of encompassing your head. And you having not experienced this, you're like, okay, that's kind of nice, you know, considering how cold it is outside. But then it transfers from your face to your neck and your shoulders, and slowly creeps its way across your body. And as you kind of then come back up, your kind of face, the warmth of the pool kind of immediately contrasts with the wind and the cold air around you. As it kind of as the water bits of it, they don't freeze to your face, but you can feel the contrast, and it kind of sucks. What is your alignment?
My alignment is lawful good.
So I'd say for you, so you get that you get that experience of
Yeah,
the
Limbo goes to
warmth.
chaotic evil.
You get the experience of the warmth and everything, but in contrast to what the other two individuals were saying, Zahir and Morello, you don't get a head rush or anything. You just kind of feel the tingle and the warmth kind of rush over your bodies. It lingers momentarily as it then kind of dissipates, but no, you don't get a head rush or feel any different.
Do I get level 1 paladin?
No.
Figured I'd try.
So Sir Denver comes out of the pool, and I'll ask him,
I
how are you
am.
feeling?
I a little warm, but I feel no different.
Aksov, you
Is it
said this
supposed to-
doesn't affect you at all, right?
Is it supposed to do something?
For me, when I put my face into it, all I felt was the warmth of the water across my face. That was about the extent of what I felt.
Well, then maybe if it takes 3, I'll do it. Then if you would like to do it after, so it doesn't seem you didn't get a head rush either. Maybe you and Sir Denrick are predisposition to not be affected by this.
He shrugs his shoulders. I mean, potentially. I mean, I don't know how any of this crazy shit works. So, but if you want to give it a shot, then by all means.
I'll try it myself as well. I don't think I'll get. Huh?
What's your alignment?
True neutral.
Okay. So what we're gonna do in
Evil.
preparation?
I think I just kind of put my face in it. I think I just take a deep breath. I feel like Bearded has some idea of what's about to happen. Probably not in a lot. Like just knows like whatever's about to happen is probably gonna be an unpleasant situation, and then just bites the bullet and gets the head in.
As you dip your head in, as your face, transcends the top of the bowl and descends into the water. And the bowl is relatively, I mean, it's about 6-7 inches deep. And so as you kind of put your head within it, you feel the warmth as you close your eyes. You feel the warmth kind of across your face. It lingers. Nothing continues as you then recoil from the pool, and just your face was hit, but had any sort of semblance of warmth that felt like it was emitted from the water, but nothing else.
Does my alignment change?
You don't feel any different?
Oh hell yeah! Okay. I think I'll
thought you
go.
might
I'll
burn that
go
holy
try to
water.
touch the barrier if Sir Denrick has not yet.
So, Denrick, are you going to go to the barrier after performing this ritual?
I guess I'll say, do we, how do we know the barrier goes down?
You can try and
I
go
was just
through
gonna
it.
try
When
touching
do we
it.
know?
Yeah, I was about to say, we just kind of went through it, so...
I mean, alright.
I will say the at this point in time, kind of after I would say just before Dearden put his head as he was kind of getting ready, and after a couple seconds after you, Sir Denrick, the lights did the braziers did, they all lit once again. After Sir Denrick went, but then you realized, you saw this, Dearden, but then you went and continued, but then you felt what you felt and you came back out. But I meant to annotate that detail. But the lights have
No problem.
the lights on the exterior have lit once again.
I think I probably, as I go to dunk, I see the lights light up, and I think, "Fuck!" and then just commit to the just knowing whatever ruse I was trying to do, Cleo was circumvented in some way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That lawful good, it always fucks up your ruse.
I think
but Sir Denrick, do you make your way over to the door?
I will.
Do you try to open the door?
Yes.
So as you go to reach your hand out to the door, your hand does pass through the barrier. You can see that like the rippling of the energy as your hand enters up to like your to your middle of your forearm as you go to reach for the handle, kind of click the button down and start to push it forward. It being easier this time, considering that the debris behind it was cleared out somewhat. But it does, as you open it, you can pass in if you'd like to.
Well, it appears to be open.
Okay, so as you step in, Virden, as you go to approach the door,
Are we,
you instinctually falling behind Sir Denrick, your hand is stopped by the barrier. As you kind of feel it.
do I notice?
well, that's not promising.
You do notice as you can hear like the disruption of kind of
Maybe
energy.
fucking into the glass.
Yeah, I'll turn around. And are you not able to enter?
It doesn't seem like it. Whatever you did didn't seem to work for me.
I believe we did the same thing.
We did. I gestured to at this point to Morello and Zahir and Aksov. I was like, can you guys walk through?
Yeah, I'll try to do it again.
You wanna do the ritual again or walk through?
I'd like to try and walk through.
Okay, so as you make your way over to the barrier, you hit it. You are not allowed entry. It stops you.
Okay.
Interesting. I guess let me try again. I'm gonna try to do the ritual again.
All right.
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I could also try as well. I know you kept mentioning something about 3. Should I try as well? To maybe, or maybe only Izzy gestures to Morello and Zahir, or maybe one of you go ahead and you individuals want to do this as
If
well.
you want to try for a third, I didn't feel anything either. Kind of like you described, maybe like Sir Denrick described as well. But I just felt water that felt nice.
I know that Zahir and Morello, they said that they like had the warmth pass over their body. I did not feel anything warmth. I only felt the warmth of the water around my head, and that's about the extent of what I felt. And I was able to pass through last night, but I mean, I was at the end of the grouping, so.
Would you
Sir
like
Denrick,
to
did you
try
feel
again?
warmth pass over your whole body?
No,
You did.
I did.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I
Fucking
guess
dude.
maybe one of the other two. Maybe it's a test
saying I can
of
put away from you.
some form of virtue or something.
Would you like
That,
to?
I'm too long lived to be able to pass.
Yes.
You say that.
Axel,
Yeah,
would you
here,
like
I'll
to try
say it.
again first,
Good
or
old
shall I
man.
go first?
Honestly, I feel like considering that we've all kind of had, me and Virden, we've had the most similar experiences. I feel like let's just get this over with. I feel like, we know for a fact that Morello and Zahir, you both are capable of entering, so maybe it was one of you that's, I don't know, allowed me to enter yesterday, or last night. So I say that let's just get this show on the road, shall we?
Okay. I will go dip my face in the pool.
Similar experiences last night. As you put your head in the pool, the warmth passes over your body, and then as you kind of come to, you feel a head rush within your mind. You start to kind of have just the kind of similar epiphanies, the similar understandings, and the similar just experiences you did the night prior. Your alignment switches to lawful good for the time being.
Excellent. And I will proceed to try to go through the door.
Marlo, are you doing this as well, or are you just gonna let Zahir kind
I'm
of?
gonna let Zahir do it and see if
Okay,
what
so
happens when he does it.
So Zahir, as you make your way over and you kind of step through the barrier, you hear a as you hear this almost like glass shattering kind of noise emit. And as you step through, you do hear, "Welcome, Angel Blood." Within only you can hear.
I'll like lowly whisper, "Thank you," and then continue on in.
It's like a Walmart greeter. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a nice day as well.
Hey, that lawful good requires me to talk back.
But
Zahir, I see you're one of the ones who can enter.
Yes, and it seems to do something slightly different. Did you hear any shattering when you walked through?
Shattering? I don't believe so.
I would say it wasn't super loud, but it was loud. It was auditorial for everyone in the area to hear this kind of this noise.
Hearing that, I will try to go up to the barrier and feel it, but this time a lot more cautiously than walking into it.
Your hand passes through the space uninhibited.
Looks like she's open, boys. Looks like we did whatever it is we did last time, which was, I think, alternatives here is like again it was you going through, but also again it seems like the second person who felt something.
And I was welcomed yet again.
You were welcomed.
Yes, I was
Perhaps you
welcomed
should have tried
previously.
Marilla before this, but I think at this point, either way, we're all able to get in, so that's good.
It's pretty.
I mean, I did welcome you.
That is true.
Good
So that was the
hospitality,
third
that's-
time I've been welcomed.
I would say at this point, the rest of your group kind of all files into the tower itself. Now, the door not being able to fully sit open because of the damage from or from that kind of damaged door that kind of held it at bay initially, kind of pushed off to the side a decent way. As you all step into the space, do you close the door behind? Do you want to close the door behind you, or are you going to leave it open?
Can I try and like will the barrier to be back up?
Yeah, so as you kind of put your hand out, go to make an Arcana check for me.
Oh no.
Ooh. You're gonna lock us in here.
You won't be able to
You
leave.
son of a bitch!
15.
15, as you kind of sit there, you kind of think nothing felt different. You walk over and then nothing materialized.
No.
Better luck next time.
Are you guys closing the door?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so as you
Yeah, right.
you close the kind of golden colored door, as you now stand within this tower interior space once again. I would like to note that the snow that had fallen within the night previously, that had been opened, as you look up into the top kind of corner of the roof, as now the sun has kind of come up and there is some kind of light and the shadows kind of emitting down from overhead within this space. You do see that there's no pileup of snow. There was actually no snow to be seen on the floor at all. But as you now see, you can see that the snow at this point is falling within, but it is now starting to kind of hit the floor. But there was no pile up of any sort, and you can similarly see within the space the tapestries or the long kind of banners on the left, right, and the back wall of the golden scale depiction. In the middle of this room, Virden, you discerning that it's probably of lead construction. You see this 20-ish by 20 kind of box that is elevated within this space, about probably 12 to 15 feet high. In the front portion facing the entrance in which you guys came into, you still see the one door kind of on its like last hinge kind of bent outward, as the secondary door is now kind of resting behind the entrance that you had to kind of push and move so that you could at least open the door more than you had previously. And then obviously kind of looking within, you can see the statue of the individual kind of crawling at the base of kind of crawling up the last steps, kind of face kind of stricken with agony. You do see there is some debris. There is some debris still kind of piled up from where the opening of the tower ceiling might have collapsed in, or something might have caused some damage. You see that at the base of kind of underneath this space, you see some kind of bricks and whatnot. Not a ton, but at least a little bit of debris. But that is where it stands. You do see that it is carpeted in here. It is like a nice kind of like silver carpeting.
I think seeing all this, I don't know if anyone's done this yet, but I will make my way up the stairs to the petrified individual, kind of look him over.
So there's the stairs. So this individual, the stairs lead down.
Oh, so he's partway down the stairs coming up.
So yeah, in the middle of this chamber, there's the lead box that kind of encompasses the stairwell, like it's a complete enclosed kind of stairwell. And as you step in a little bit, you can see that the stairs lead down. Within the box itself, and you do see at the like last, like the second to last step before it hits the landing of the box, you see this statue, and then dividing the space almost in half within the actual kind of lead box area. You see there's like a kind of a railing of sorts, like a stone railing, and you can see there's a gap behind it. Probably indicating the stairwell continues down, probably on the other side of that.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense.
Yep, I think I'll still make my way over down the stair a little bit just to investigate the body, or the individual, or the statue.
Yeah, so
whatever the proper nomenclature is.
You don't even necessarily have to go down the stairs. All you have to do is walk through the threshold of the box, and you can see that. So here's like the box, right? And then here's the doors. The one door's kind of busted out. The one other door's completely off its hinges. And you can see that immediately to the left, as you enter into the doorway, is where the stairs lead down. And the individual's only like 2 feet down the stairs. And so you can step in through the door frame and kind of investigate this individual. What are you looking for?
Trying to see if there's any indication of age. And by age, I mean what time period, how long ago this might have transpired. Like, is there maybe moss on the stone? Is there maybe like weathering or aging or?
I'll make an investigation check for me.
Sure. 18.
18. So as you're looking over the statue, you don't see any sort of moss or anything that necessarily resembles age in that nature. However, you do see that the statue itself is cracked, not super heavily, but it is cracked to some degree. And as you're looking and kind of peering over this individual, you do see that whatever this statue is depicting, it was an individual in like what looked to be like half plate of some sort, and you can see that the tabard that they're wearing over the half plate, you can see a similar on the back portion of it as they're crawling up, and as you kind of walked into the space and peered over, you can see that the back portion of this tabard is similar in design as the tabards on the wall. However, it is dark within the stairwell, considering that you're now stepping kind of in within this space, and so you can kind of see it with your dark vision and kind of with the light emitting from the hole in the ceiling. But that is about what you can discern, with just the low light that's within this space.
Got you.
Sir Daniel steps to the doorway with a lantern.
Okay. So as you step
It
in,
immediately blinds you.
lantern kind of illuminating the space, but yeah, it looks like an armored individual. You don't see any weapon on them, or affixed to their, or affixed. You do see a sheath, but you don't see a weapon.
I think
Seems to be an ill omen.
At least this image makes a little bit more sense to me, only from, and I'll point out the banners on the wall. The sigil on the banners of the tapestry matches what he's wearing. My first thought was Basilisk made their way in or something, but perhaps whatever broke out, broke in, perhaps whatever it might have been. This happened at the same time, perhaps. I guess we'll see if we go further down. We find more petrified folk.
As you're looking,
This could be some sort of prison.
Whatever it is locked in lead.
I wonder why they keep a weapon, at least an artifact weapon, in a prison.
As you're looking down, you do see that the stairway itself does go about 10-ish feet down before it hits what looks to be with the lantern of Sir Denric, and then obviously with dark vision, you see it goes about 10 feet down, and there's like a thin landing about 5 feet wide as it then cuts to the right, and you can see just from even looking over, you can see that the stairs then descend even farther down, kind of doubling back, kind of as you can even look over the railing and see that there is another landing about at this point, kind of seeing where it is about 20-ish 25 feet down. As you look over the railing itself, as it kind of switchbacks and goes and descends further down. It is pitch black down there. You cannot see anything. The dark vision does kind of shoot down a little bit, but for you, Sir Denric, you look down and it is incredibly ominous. No noise emitting, just stone kind of slowly fading from view as you look further down. On this first landing, you do see what looks to be a torch holder of some sort affixed to the wall, and there does seem to be an unlit torch affixed to the wall itself.
Does it seem different from the torches we saw outside?
There were no torches outside. The
lights that came on.
The lights that came on were like
there were the sconces on either side.
No, yeah, those there was nothing in those. There was no torches in those sconces, but there was the braziers were like bold kind of fire pits of sort, elevated fire pits that kind of that rested up out of the ground. You can see them. You can kind of see it in the images that I have for the graphics. You can kind of see. You can see what I'm talking about, which I can actually pull up for the stream as well.
I was only asking to see if this would be in any way a suggestion where in my mind be like, oh, magically we can activate this, or instead it seems like we'll have to like it's a normal torch.
So the ones these are very different in construction than the ones that were outside that lit on their own. It does appear to just be a torch and placed into an actual holder, if that makes sense.
It looks different.
No, it
looks older.
It looks different in the fact that it's not like on the ground. It's affixed to the wall. It's just like a little. It's like a little, just kind of plate affixed to the wall with a little bit of like an angled little kind of piece of metal that allows for them to slide in a torch, and the torch is just held basically attached to the wall. And it's only different from the exterior because the exterior were like bold kind of fire pits. Yeah. That lit on their own with no source to be indicated within.
Okay.
Or used for fuel.
So they're just like rings that you can put a torch in.
Essentially, yeah. Just little.
Okay.
Well, there's only one way to unravel this mystery, and I'm gonna draw my sword, and then I'm just gonna walk down the stairs.
I'll draw my sword as well, and I'll follow him down the stairs.
Can I cast light on Sir Denric's sword?
Better not fucking cast it on my sword.
Sure. Yeah. As he walks by, you cast light. As you touch it, as he draws
I'll ask
it.
him if I can.
Okay.
May I cast light on your sword, Sir Denric?
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Be my guest.
All right. I will touch the hilt of it. And the blade lights up.
You need a lantern.
I no longer need one.
I want to say
in case we get split up and you don't have to use your magic.
I can always take it back. And you have your lantern, so just so you don't have to carry both.
Yeah, I will extinguish the lantern and
you can
just put it on the bag.
Bright light at 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. Okay. So yeah, it is fairly bright now within this space. You have your lantern, but yeah. At this point, as you kind of start to take navigating, and the stairs are about 10 feet wide as well, so there's plenty of space for you all to kind of navigate around this statue the statue that's resting amongst the top towards the top of it. Aksov does kind of call out as you begin this descent. I will say, in my experience, obviously, this is not the first cavern or dungeon that I have delved. I find that sometimes they might be riddled with traps or things that might ward off prying eyes or investigatory parties that aren't necessarily wanted. So I am particularly talented in finding and discerning these traps. If you want me to go ahead and and ensure that we are not going to step into anything. Unless, Sir Denric, you are versed in this yourself.
I will immediately stop. What kind of traps?
I mean, just use your imagination.
Lights?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is an ancient ruin, so I don't know what kind of traps that they could honestly be holding in store. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, you know.
Yes. I mean, it makes sense to me.
All right, he goes ahead and slides past you, and he'll take front initiative order. Who's taking the rear? The last two. Morello and Zahir. Who's going?
I'll take the rear.
Okay, I'll be ahead of him. Well, is light's concentration? Is it?
You go to the rear, you might
is
be able
not.
to take some hit point damage.
It is not
Oh, wait,
concentration.
Yeah, it's not.
Light is 1 hour.
I'd like to cast. What skill would he use to disarm traps? Would that be dexterity?
Well, to investigate to see if there are any traps, it'd be investigation.
Yeah, I guess. Never mind then.
Okay.
Well, to disarm it, yeah, isn't it dexterity?
I can always just bless him for that, or guidance.
All right.
Bless up real quick.
Well, I guess at this point now he has his short sword drawn. Not his dagger, but he has his short sword drawn. He's all right. I guess we should probably see what this tomb has to offer. As he then makes his way towards the front, and you all kind of, as you all are stepping down the steps, you can hear like your especially you, Sir Denric, with your like metallic boots kind of hitting the stone steps as it reverberates and rings out and echoes within the stairwell kind of down and kind of gives this ominous.
Not attempting to walk.
You're not attempting to
I think I'll
what?
say let's
Yeah.
maybe try to be a little bit quieter on our way down. We don't know what's down here yet.
Good thing the person who needs to hear that isn't here.
Well, I myself will roll stealth if that's okay.
Yeah,
I'll
for
roll
sure.
stealth too when he says that.
Aksov will say that it will roll as well.
Ooh, shit! What the fuck?
That's a
I have
roll.
nothing for stealth, so
I
got
would
I
like
have
to
nothing
hit it
for
well.
stealth. So that's a 21.
You have nothing for. Oh, okay.
I rolled an 18. I have +3 dex.
All right. What?
I wasn't attempting to be quiet, so.
Virden did say. You know, we
Yeah,
should
I
probably
said
attempt it, but like you don't still have to. You can just be like, cool, and then keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. I said we
I
should
do
be
the-
quiet.
Yeah.
I do the cartoon sneak.
Who else is rolling stealth? And give it to me if you did.
A 5.
Yes, I will.
An 8.
Disadvantage, you
fine.
fucker.
Yeah, with disadvantage.
Nat 20.
Disadvantage. You goof.
5.
So as you mentioned this, Aksov kind of looks back to you and kind of nods his head, and he goes forward and continues. You can see he's looking around, you know, doing his best to discern anything that might be of danger. But you can see he's not making a noise. And Virden, you kind of hone in, and you're not making a noise either. But you have these armor-clad individuals, Sir Denric, right in front of you, just the metallic footprints kind of stepping down, you know, reverberating off the stone as his armor clinks and shifts amongst on his shoulders, and then you can hear the bone necklace kind of slapping against his breastplate as he.
Yeah, you see.
Maybe slapping on steel.
I did leave that. I left that.
You thought you left that until you looked down, and here it is, not helping your stealth.
Oh shit! There's been bones falling everywhere.
But you can let
Yes.
that back. That's fine.
The giant necklace, I would have left it.
And Morello's similar, just clunky, kind of dragonborn in heavier armor. The shield kind of scrapes against the wall every once in a while, and you're like, shit. And Zahir, you're just yeah.
I've got my breastplate, but I have my cloak over it, so.
Collectively, not the stealthiest, but as you
Yeah, no shit.
and Zaxov's keeping his eye, looking down at the steps, looking up at the walls, just investigating as you guys are walking down, and you make it down the initial kind of steps with the statue, and it doubles back another 10 feet or so. You hit another landing, another 10 feet down, and it's just kind of rectangular, kind of spiral down as you get farther and farther. And pretty soon, as you continue and you're making this descent, you look back up and there's just darkness above you. You can no longer
Yeah, is
see.
it like a single shaft and then there's like an empty space in the middle?
No, it is like there's no empty space in the middle. It just doubles. It just keeps going
Okay.
down.
It's
Yeah,
just walls all the way down.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
walls all the way down. The central kind of portion of it being a supporting kind of structure holding these steps together. As you make your way further, further, and further still. Eventually, the light kind of emitting, kind of as you round, after going down about probably 5-10 minutes of walking down these stairs. As you round the corner, you now see the light that's emitting down this last flight of stairs, about 10-ish more feet down. You see that it opens up into this kind of a little bit larger of a room. And if you would all like to, I have detailed out this dungeon on Tailspire. If you would like visual aids.
Oh,
Fuck.
I would like visual aids.
I don't want it, but I'm opening it up. I don't want it because of what it implies.
Oh shit! I have a 2.3 gig update. Never mind.
You can
Yeah, I can watch.
I will say this before we open up Tailspire. So let me go ahead and give you kind of these. Dude, Nox is not having a good time.
This is still starving over there.
He's still sad boy. But I will say there's a little bit more descriptions before we can we can open this up. And obviously it's not even letting me load immediately. So but as the stairs hit the base kind of level here. It opens up about 10 more feet off to the right-hand side of the stairs. And about 10 feet at like a 45-ish degree angle from where the steps end, you see an archway kind of similar to the archway that signified the entrance to the actual ruined grounds. However, this archway is still intact, and you can see a hallway continuing beyond the light that's being emitted from within your vision. And I will say, each landing that you guys walked down, there was torch kind of holders, and there was torches in all of those. If you had any desire to do anything with those, but.
Yeah, I think upon seeing the first one, I would have mentioned to Sir Denrick, who I believe still had his torch.
He had a lantern.
Or his lantern.
Can I take
Perhaps
every
we should.
single one?
Well, I was gonna say perhaps we should light these on the way down. That way we have some illumination, a marker of where we've been.
So I light every one. Seems to go
I
only in
mean-
one direction.
Well, for now, it seems prudent, but do what seems best to you. We're
should I just
making
light a
noise
few?
anyway. Uh-huh.
We'll try to light a few, like every few torches, or just like you to light every one.
Sure. Every few seems fine.
I think
I'm
I'll
lighting
at least
one
light the-
torch every 10 flights.
I guess you mentioned that when we were going down.
Yeah.
I would mention it upon seeing the first one.
Okay, I'll light the first one. And then
Hey,
I'll
your
light
ass
every
is
few.
blind as shit. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want to do it, but that's just my 2 cents.
And
That's
then
what
I'll-
Aksov says.
And then I'll light the last one.
Okay.
You told me to light the torches. You can't get mad at me, dude.
All right.
Your methods confuse and frighten me, sir, and I think I'll say that as you like the first, however many occur, and then the last.
Okay, I will number out which ones I do. 1, 3, 8, 11,
Oh,
17,
oh my god.
23, and 30.
Anyway, so
In that order.
if anyone else would have liked to light the torches, you feel more than free. If no one else did, that's fine.
I'm gonna turn back to Morello, who's in the rear. Do you have a light spell up?
I don't, but I can if we need me to.
Well,
Fancy wizards
It gets
and
dark
their
every time
light
they
spells.
go around each corner.
That's
so-
true.
God's
Yeah,
given.
I'll cast a light spell as well.
And then I'm gonna toss a orb from the bag of tricks behind us.
Okay. Shit. Go ahead and roll your
As
D8.
much noise as humanly possible. I love it.
A 1. It's like a weasel, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Weasel.
Hold on. Oh,
Off goes the weasel.
it is a weasel.
Damn it.
Yeah, you throw your little fuzzy
Fucking
object.
weasel.
You throw your fuzzy object kind of back behind the path, and a weasel appears.
Oh, I'll get a little bit disappointed. That's not what I wanted. You can have that if you want, Morello. Your little friend.
Just stomp it.
I just kind of look
Weasel
back
stomp
at it, shrug, and keep going.
Okay, yeah, it can follow us if it wants, but
Yeah.
actually
I'll
no,
pick up the weasel.
I'm lawful good. I'll pick it up.
Okay. But yes,
I think saying this, I'll go to Baldur. It's like not now, not now. Just
kind of like
Later.
wings unfurled, just kind of shit back.
I'll put him in my hood.
Okay.
Nice.
let you in the
Sounds
back of your
good.
head clawed the fuck up here in about 10 minutes.
Hey, he's friendly.
Sounds good.
I'm not
But
talking about him.
as you
get
get
a guiding bolt.
you guys are standing about 10 feet up on this last landing before you reach the base of the stairs, and you do see kind of an arched hallway continuing forward. You see it goes about probably 10-15 feet in before the darkness kind of consumes your vision and you can't see farther, at least from your vantage point here. What would you like to do? Aksov being in front, kind of. Well, the good news is, as he calls back to the group, the good news is, obviously we did not find any traps along the stairwell. But bad news is that that doesn't necessarily mean shit. So
What are we looking for again? Down here? Is they here?
There is a sword,
I know you know.
likely belonging to some sort of celestial angel, presumably. Seems quite important. I've been guided to this.
I mean, that sounds interesting enough. Do you think it's actually down here?
I have absolutely no doubt.
Or your visions always
Have-
come to fruition?
They have very much led me straight. Everything's aligned so far with what I've seen. This tower, this stairwell.
They didn't
I
have
would
to
like to
give you a
send
map.
Baldur, while we're doing this, Baldur kind of out to kind of fly around the room a little bit as I kind of use his vision. He has dark vision, so just kind of see around the room, get an idea of the topography we're dealing with.
This room, if you want to send down the hallway, you can, but this room is fairly small. So as as the steps kind of come down and connect to the base floor, it goes forward about 10 feet, and then it opens to the right about 10-ish feet, and it's like a small landing before this archway is like the boundary between this little small kind of landing section and further in the hallway beyond. It's not like a super large room. It's literally just like a halfway room from the base of the stairs to deeper in.
Okay, well, I think in that case, I'll just walk into the main room, but I think I'll make my way up, I'll look around the room with Baldur and such, before I kind of step in, just kind of like a little fly around, but just a cursory glance before you step in, just to make sure there's nothing waiting around a corner.
Yeah, as you kind of look up, the ceiling's a little bit taller because of the way the stairwell kind of was built up, and you have Baldur kind of fly up. Not much to really see. You make a perception check for me though.
Yeah, with him.
Yeah. As Aksov now needs to make a new investigation check.
All right.
Natural 20.
11. Oh, I got 11, so that's great.
Okay, so as Baldur looks around, you don't see anything necessarily out of the that sticks out that you should be personally concerned with.
I'm not personally concerned with that.
However, Aksov looks around, and as you kind of start to push forward a little bit, he starts to step down the stairs ahead of you just to make sure that he's kind of doing what he does best. As he looks around and he touches, moves down the 10 feet, touches to the base kind of landing here, looks around, kind of takes a special second along the archway that leads into this hallway, looks around kind of the space, and looks back to the other CU group. You're veered and kind of making your way down the stairs, the other group kind of staying on this landing, still discussing and talking. Well, initially, so far so good. There doesn't seem to be anything in here. So I guess as he then just looks deeper into the hallway, and as you kind of step down and look in, you can see what's your dark vision range?
Let me double check. I believe it's 6.
I think it's like
So
60
let me
feet.
check.
6 feet.
It's
6 feet.
it's 6 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet.
Nice.
Let me just double check here. I believe I have.
We have dark vision,
I
though.
haven't written that I have dark vision. I neglected to write the range. So 1 minute. Let me double check.
Well, you should check that. Let me just check on Nox real quick to make sure that he's good. He's been whining a lot. So
No
one
problem.
second.
Yep. I have.
You didn't happen to get a map, did you, Zahir?
What I saw it's rather abstract for at least down here. It was really just the stairs and then a chamber.
Oh, we went down the stairs and here's a chamber.
Well, we'll see if it's
So
in here.
Hit me with it.
We must be on the right track.
60 feet.
60 feet. So as you kind of step down and kind of step next to Aksov, looking at this archway and saying this, you can see that that about 50 or so feet down the pathway, you can see your dark vision kind of can discern in this dark space that there's an it goes about 50 feet down, and it's about the pathway or the hallway leading down is about 12 to 12-ish, 15-ish feet wide. And the archway that leads into this space, the ceiling stays arched all the way down. And off to the left and right, you can see three kind of torch holders, similar to where the stairs had. You can see 3 on the left-hand wall, evenly spaced, 3 on the right-hand wall, evenly spaced. Also, just about halfway down this corridor, kind of butted up against the right-hand wall, you do see another one of these statues, similar to the statue that you saw at the top of the stairs. So it's probably about it's probably about 25, 30 feet, kind of almost dead center in the middle of this hallway. You can see with your dark vision.
Dude, not the angel statue, right?
This is
I don't think he's talking about an angel right now. I think he's using statue as a form of describing a body. You
can't really discern too many details on the statue. However, you do see kind of towards like right beneath where the archway opens up, and you can see, considering that your dark vision pushes past the length of this space, you can see that the archway on the far end, it does open up. It doesn't seem like this hallway continues. It opens up into a larger space beyond. You can't see what exactly, but it's kind of towards the end of your dark vision that you can see that. But you do see something you do see the outline of something resting on the ground, kind of on the left-hand side underneath the far archway, before it opens up into larger space.
I think I'll say I'll kind of leer my head over to Aksov and say, you seeing all this down there?
Absolutely not. I can't see shit. I do not have dark vision.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Kind of a sight down here. The archway continues. Looks like it opens up further down. I'm seeing potentially another petrified humanoid down here. Seems to be something. I don't know if it's a creature or structure, but I'm gonna probably send my my bird down there to get a better look. I would say let's probably move kind of quietly if we can. Maybe we have the louder folk.
You say this, he looks back at the rest of the group, consisting of a bunch of non-stealthy individuals.
Yeah.
I mean,
Maybe I'll send my bird to check on what's going on quickly before we lose our prize. And I'll send Baldur. I want Baldur to be up as high as Baldur can can. But you mentioned kind of the thing resting underneath the archway. That's going to be my biggest concern as far as visually.
Okay. So the archway kind of bows up, and so the ceiling of this hallway is about probably like 15-ish feet tall. So as you kind of send Baldur up, and kind of he floats along the top of this kind of arched roof area. Make a perception check for me.
It's up there. Yeah.
I think with advantage, right?
Yeah. I've been rolling it like that with whenever I use Baldur. That's why I normally ask. So that's 22.
22. As Boulder kind of goes up and kind of like there's nothing for him. Well, he could perch on, I guess, one of the torch holders if he wanted to, because there
Yeah,
are
that's
torches in
fine.
there. He perches on the right hand side, blast torch holder on the right hand side, kind of just before this kind of outline of what you could see very clearly. I wouldn't say very clearly, but even in the dim lit, because the owl is dark vision, right?
Yes.
So even in this
The
dark,
familiar does, yeah.
even in this dark space, you can see that it is a skeleton.
Is it moving?
There's a skeleton kind of.
And-
It's a skeleton kind of propped out, kind of body laying, kind of one hand up, kind of one hand kind of crunched up underneath the body. You see his sword, kind of down out in front. You do see that the skeleton is there is still armor. Like the skeleton's like within a set of armor, kind of similar to the armor that you saw at the base of the stairs. You see half plate. You see some kind of tabards. You do see some damage to the actual armor itself. But there is a skeleton that kind of is lying within it.
Interesting. So the skeleton, then also there's the petrified person.
There's also this. There is also the statue. Yes, in the middle of the hallway.
Okay.
I'm assuming the rest of the group has made their way down towards the landing at this point.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you guys are all kind
Kind
of
of tell us to wait.
no. They just went ahead.
You guys tell us to wait there or no?
No,
Aksov
we didn't say
didn't.
anything.
I'm gonna move a bit slower, try and like make sure my armor doesn't creak around.
I don't realize how not stealthy I am. I will continue on.
You can all make stealth checks again if you'd like to. Considering you made it to the base of the stairs.
I'll
Axel.
try it.
Aksov will. Damn, holy shit, that's good.
It's an 11 with my.
You should not have let me do that.
knowledge.
Damn.
Natural one.
19
Oh.
and then another 19 and then another 5.
Nice. Virden.
Nice. Stealth?
Yeah.
My stealth will be 15.
Okay. So Aksov with the 28, Denver with a 5, Virden with a 15, Zahir with 2, and then Morello with 11. Okay. Zahir, you basically almost fall down the stairs as you kind of make your way, and one of the stones comes loose. Not a nat 1 per se, but it does come loose, and you have to like kind of like scampers on, and the rock kind of falls and hits the base, the landing, but at the base of the stairwell here. But he didn't fall. That's good. But as you all kind of collectively are now making your way down here, what would you guys like to do?
Continue on.
Yeah.
So what's the marching order?
Let's make our way over. I'll express to everyone, like, there's a, seems like to open up a little bit further down. We got, seems like a petrified person, a skeleton armored with a sword down here. So at least we have at least two different versions of somebody dying. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, so that's good. Let's go check it out. Probably.
Yeah.
I recommend let's take a minute, maybe look those two over, see if we can figure out what might be going on down here, or might have gone on down here.
I agree.
I don't know. Not yet. Let's go look at him because I don't know. It's a skeleton, so I'd assume old, but also I don't know if it happened in an instant because that stuff can happen.
Who's going to go check
Let's
it out?
hope that doesn't happen to us. I'll go check it out.
Are you all wanting to
Yeah.
walk in the same marching order, or you guys want to send someone ahead?
I'll still stay in
We
the
should-
back. Just
yeah,
in
we
case
should-
something-
Yeah, I'll be in the back, but I think we should stick together. We shouldn't split off into onesies and twosies.
Yeah. So the path thing
I
is
want to
about.
stay everyone within fireball range, so we all.
So
get
are you
to
guys like
see
staggering kind of like a cluster, but like kind of still? I mean,
Yeah,
Aksov will be at the
so-
front doing his investigation, unless you guys want otherwise.
Is he going to be the one investigating?
Yeah, he's investigating for traps.
Yeah, that's fine.
fine.
Oh, like, okay.
And if you want to proceed, you can though. If you want to move up there, Zahir.
Yeah, I would like to be in the front with the.
And you guys can go almost side
probably
kind of
third
side.
in line.
You guys can go like side by side too. The hallway is about
If
like.
Sahir wants to move up with Aksov, I'll defer backwards to kind of go with Morello then.
Okay. So Denrick's in the middle. All right, sounds good. He's gonna roll his investigation. If you want to roll perception, another natural 20. He's gonna burn. He's gonna burn all his natural 20s on
Let's go.
investigation. Let's go,
And
strong.
He's gonna go up with a dagger and a short sword and start cutting up a pillar later. But now he's doing good.
Yeah. What's up,
Setting
Zahir?
up a pillar with a dagger would be pretty cool, though.
Zahir, what did you want to do?
I would like to cast resistance on him.
Okay. Is that just
So,
that's a
just
minute?
next saving-
That's a minute,
Saving
right?
throw within a minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So as you kind of lay a hand on him, he kind of feels the energy kind of transfer to his body. He kind of looks over, kind of just nods, trusting you. So he continues to slowly go, kind of now at this point drawing his dagger as well. So he's just looking, eyeing the statue, checking everything, checking low to the ground, kind of eyeing every kind of possible vantage that a trap could be sprung. What'd you roll for perception? Did you roll perception here, or you didn't want to roll perception?
You want me to roll perception?
Well, I figured you could.
I'm looking
Perceive.
around.
Yeah, roll perception.
Perceive away.
Okay, 24.
24. So he's kind of more focused on the actual, and it's a slow going process. But he's more focused on traps. But with the light now, you can kind of look up ahead, and you do see that the statue, the individual kind of being depicted as a shield up in their left hand, kind of back almost butted up against the side of the wall, sword kind of off to the side, and you can see that the shield kind of almost all the way up, kind of covering the majority of their face and the middle portion of their torso, and they're frozen like that. And you can see that the armor is similar in design to the one upstairs. It's kind of half plate. You can see the tabard kind of in the back, kind of similar armor, similar kind of construction of individual at the very least. So it's kind of hard to pick out fine details, because of the statue only can only discern so much, but that is what you see.
I don't know if I missed a detail, but is all of their equipment petrified as well?
It is.
Okay.
But as you continue to make your way, you after a minute or two, you hit the middle of the hallway, and then you all can kind of now observe the statue, seeing similar things. But at this point, the light now emitting kind of towards the end of this hallway, you can now see the skeletal figure within the actual armor, laying face down, kind of arm up, other arm kind of smashed against the wall. Armor have taken some serious battering, and then kind of laying prone, sword kind of like a half a foot up ahead of them. But it is, as long as no one wants to stop, the Aksov hasn't said anything when it comes to investigation.
Is the sword petrified too that's laying in front of him?
No, this is a skeleton.
Skeleton, right?
This
yeah.
is a skeleton. Yeah,
Not
this is
petrified.
a skeleton. The sword and the shield and everything and the armor was part of the statue, and then this one
The rest of here is totally fine.
this
The
one is
sword's there. I would just like to look it over for like religious iconography, I guess.
make a perception check.
That's all. And this is just me doing this shit. Oh shit! It's just me doing this shit. What's my thing? Dude. Okay. 24.
Holy shit! As you look over it, it looks like it was nicely made. Obviously, with wear or with with age, it's gotten a little bit. It doesn't look so hot, but you can tell that it's good. It was well made in construction, but it looks like a general longsword. Doesn't look like it's got anything super descript or indicating anything to discern that
Perception check. Can I get any ballpark on maybe how long this has been here?
Yes, not necessarily.
Is there any way I might be able to go about doing that?
You could make. I would say you can make a survival check once you get close enough.
Sure, and then when we were able to close the distance, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, would I be able to help him with that?
If you guys both want to do that, yeah. But I would say another minute or two goes by. Aksov's just doing his thing, making sure nothing stupid happens, before you do eventually hit the other archway. You're now standing, Aksov at front. You guys kind of all as a kind of a group at the archway, and now the skeleton, kind of armored skeleton, rests to your side. Go ahead and make a survival check with advantage, or you guys can roll individually. Doesn't matter to me.
You want to roll individually, Nathan?
Yeah, well, let's roll individually.
Sure. Good move.
20 total.
4.
Okay, yeah. So you're kind of looking at it, and you're like, yeah, that looks. I mean, it looks old, but you can't really tell. And Zahir like kind of takes a knee, but he looks and
I'm like, it looks old, but I'm old, so I don't.
you. I would. Oh shit. You know, you've spent your time around kind of. You know, you wander, and so you've seen various states of equipment and whatnot. Yeah, along some your journeys in traversing certain places, and so I mean. It looks pretty well preserved in the sense of it doesn't look like it's completely rusted out, which is kind of strange. But there is hints of it getting there. But I mean, probably you could put it at maybe like 50 plus years.
This has been here for quite some time. Longer than... probably more than 50 years.
So that honestly sounds younger than I would have thought. Because 50 plus, I mean, the Grey Wolf tribes, the Grey Wolf Marauders, we're talking. As long as their clan has been here, this ruin's been a ruin. That makes it sound like whatever's going on here is a more recent thing.
Yes, because the clan has been around for quite a while, from what it sounded like. So
We said generations, if I recall.
yeah.
I will say with your survival check too, there, Zahir. Kind of as you say this, and as Fiernan kind of mentions it, and you ballpark 50, but like it could be much older. The thing that's kind of stumping you is you look at this, and it is very well made armaments, and so you're kind of also incorporating into this that either the rust isn't taking hold because it hasn't been as long, or maybe the equipment itself was better maintained or has been imbued with something, or something might be assisting with a lessened decaying process when it comes to the actual
We are pretty
equipment.
deep down, so there's probably not too much humidity down here.
So it could be longer though,
But,
which would make
yes,
a bit
it
more
could- it
sense.
is- At this, yeah, it's at the minimum probably 50 years.
And with that, as you all go ahead and look into the space forward, we can go ahead and go over to Tailspire.
Through the frost trail still.
Yeah.
Can I say no?
And you don't have to go if you don't want. You can.
You
I'm
may not.
going.
There will not be combat, Connor.
No, so I mainly
promise.
I usually draw my dungeons, and I figured why draw my dungeons when I can build my dungeons, and so I figured I might as well just give you that what's it called? Don't join in yet. Hold on. Oh, you already joined in. Okay.
Yeah, I've been here.
Be ready for the black ooze.
Go to beneath Valen Lore. You have to go to that
There.
board.
How do we
Whoa.
start boards again?
Maybe click at the top where it says its name.
You should be able to hit spacebar or something, and it should.
Spacebar for me is Tailspire, and this
Tutorials and settings.
says waiting on GMs. So.
That's to invite you. Here, let me call you to this board. How do I do that? Campaign and board settings. How do I? Oh, players. Summon players to this board. Players are being summoned.
Oh God, I'm being dragged. All right.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know it like made you guys come over here. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you have to summon us.
So, oh, hello.
I will note I do not have Balder with me at the moment. I don't know if that's gonna affect much, but just so you know.
I did forget him, but we will keep that in mind. Okay, so
All the time.
you two were kind of investigating this sword.
Yep.
So Denric, I'll say that you were kind of just back here. Morello, you would probably be right here.
Watching the stream, I don't see anything.
Yeah,
I'm
you
supposed
don't.
to see something.
I don't think you have it pulled up on stream.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. I'm over here like, let's do it. Let me go ahead and go. Transition over to stream mode.
Let's go.
There we go. There you go. There you go. Thank you for that. Heads up, my friend. Thank you. All right.
I thought I'd mentioned it earlier, but
Maybe. Or maybe I just hate you. Oh, shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to kind of nav some things. Yep. Okay. So, as you kind of at this point veered in with your dark vision, I would say with your bright light, and you guys kind of, I would say at this point, you guys kind of all can kind of squish towards the front here, towards where the opening of this is, and you can see what you can kind of see before you in Tailspire. You can see that it opens up to the left and the right. You can see that there are similar braziers as there were at the top, kind of on the elevated portion of the ruin. I will say that they are not lit yet, or they're not lit in general. You can kind of see within the space two additional skeletal kind of armored figures. You can see one kind of in the middle, kind of laying on its back, kind of arms off to the side, shield kind of resting off to one side, weapon resting off to another. There's another individual kind of off towards the far side of the walls. And as your light illuminates this space, you can see that underneath, or you can see that above where this body is resting along that wall, you see 3 levers. You see one that is up, you see a middle one that is down, and you see a third one on the far right that is up as well. There are, from this distance, you can see that there are like plaques above each lever. However, from this portion, you can see that there's etching, but you do not see anything. You cannot anything notable or discernible on the actual plaques themselves. Connor, I'm loving your reaction right now. Yeah, you motherfucker.
We need to find the golden claw.
Oh yeah.
Find the golden claw.
this one's the ruby claw.
All right. But I would say Aksov and Vierden, you're kind of at the front of this. You guys all kind of like Goonie style, kind of clampering over each other to see within, but no one has actually entered into the space. Is there any? What would you guys like to do?
What do you guys see?
Looks like we got our first obstacle, I'd say.
Also,
got a body.
real quick. One important piece of note I would like to say: in the far end of this room, the structural makeup of these ruins walls and everything that you've seen is similar to the exterior ruin portion, except for the lead box, which Vierden, since you discern that was a little bit different in construction and was lead, the wall across from you, cutting off any sort of passageway forward is also made up of lead, and it goes from floor to ceiling. Sorry, continue.
All right, and I recognize this. Okay,
You do
I think I'll
recognize this,
say,
yes.
looking at this, like we got a body in the middle of the floor, we got a body next to a bunch of levers, we got a lead wall in front of us, we got something above the levers. Looks like we got some sort of puzzle or trial to kind of figure out here before we pull the right lever and not die horribly. So let's think before we act here.
Well, let's.
And I think I'll say that they just enter the room.
Yeah. Let's
Also,
go.
I will say this: the torches are lit because I assumed you would light the torches, but you guys did not. But they are lit because it's either they're not lit or they are lit. You can I wish you could toggle them. Tailspire needs to make it so you could toggle them, but I figured having them.
Tailspire?
Yeah. Hey, help, please. But I figured having them on would be better than not because I figured you would have done that, but apparently not. So anyway, Vierden, you say this as you step.
We're lighting few.
Just light the damn all of them. Light them all, Denrick.
Yeah.
These
I
ones
want to
are
light the
between
second
23
one, the
and
fourth
30.
one, and then the third one.
I light every third odd one.
Every third odd.
That means you light every. God, third odd one. The third,
Fifth.
the ninth, the
Every
fuck
fifth.
you.
All right, so as Vierden says that, as he steps into the space, I will say with that, Aksov does step in, but kind of sidesteps a little bit, just to actually, he will kind of. I would say before you go any farther, Aksov does kind of reach a hand out to you and says, "Honestly, we've not found any traps thus far, but I feel like should I do a once over of the room before we just kind of peruse, or or do we want to just?"
Let's I'm gonna investigate these levers over here, but a once-over is a good idea. I imagine if there's gonna be levers, the levers will kill us. Possibly. But I'm just gonna go check out those, but let's make sure there's nothing else going on here. Or perhaps if we can figure out what these levers do by looking over the room, that'd be great too. I'm gonna make my way over there and try to investigate whatever's going on with these, as far as sigils or...
Okay. Aksov begins kind of investigating the room as I'll just set him in the middle, kind of showing that he is kind of looking over everything. What is the rest of you doing? Virden, you're making your way over to the levers.
I'll guide Aksov for his investigation.
Oh, okay, cool, because he fucked that shit up. That's a little bit better. But yeah, he is, as he's doing that, you can assist him. Morello and Sir Denrick, what would you like to do?
Gonna enter the room.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stay at the doorway and kind of watch her back and guide Virden.
Within or on the exit? Like, are you
Within the room.
it's within the room? Okay, so I just want to make sure that you didn't want to leave or be on the exterior. Okay. You do okay. So Virden, as you make your way over to the levers, you do see obviously the similar levers that were already you saw earlier. You see one lever that is up, one lever that is down, one lever, and the third lever being up. You do see kind of like plaques kind of bolted kind of above each lever with scrawling. The scrawling looks similar to the etching that was on the angel statue kind of bowl, and so you could discern that it's probably celestial. And you also see that as you're kind of looking at over these levers themselves, you also see that on kind of to the right of the third most lever, which is the farthest one to the right of that, kind of almost attached to the actual lever mechanism itself, you see an additional jetted out piece of stonework or like metal, and you see two keyholes next to that lever.
Okay, I think seeing that, I'm gonna turn my attention to the body below and give him a once-over real quick, see if I can find anything that might fit the description of a key.
You can certainly do that. Go ahead and make me either if you don't want to touch the body perception, if you want to touch the body investigation.
I'm touching that shit. I don't give a damn.
Okay.
That's a 26.
Holy shit.
Nice.
19 on the die. I'm proficient.
Nicely done. So as you're looking over this body, sadly you do not see anything that would assist you
God damn it.
for the mechanisms. However, you do find a pouch full of 96 gold pieces and 12 silver.
This was a rich dead motherfucker. Okay, I think I find that and kind of giggle to myself, then realize like, oh yeah, puzzles. And I'll call out to everyone. It's like, as you guys are looking around, or if anything comes to mind, it looks like there's two keyholes next to these levers. So let's see if maybe either we're looking for two objects or maybe one object that does both functions, but just keep a lookout.
Okay.
Easy, say.
Okay.
That's
So
it,
as you're
yeah.
investigating that, I would say that you guys are doing doing a quick sweep of the room, not seeing anything. At least Aksov kind of leading this, you assisting, and eventually Zahir, you both make your way over to the levers themselves.
Alright.
And as this is going on, yeah, so you kind of make your way over to towards Virden as he kind of gets up, says this to the group, and so Morello, what are you and Morello and Sir Denrick, what are you all doing?
I'm just watching down the hall.
Okay.
So is this the end of the place? There's no other hallways?
Are you saying that out loud to us?
I guess yeah. I'll think that out loud and say, is this the end of this crypt or
Well,
prison? I guess.
it looks like we pull these levers or something happens. We gotta figure out the right order or operation here. But that wall over there, and I point to the wall at the end of the hallway, looks like that same lead we saw entering this place. So I'm guessing it's locking behind something. So if we get these open, perhaps it opens up that wall.
I heard you mention that before. What is the significance of the lead?
Oh, lead makes it really hard for any kind of like magic in general, but I think mainly just kind of like, I guess it's more of like divination magic getting through. I don't know if it's specific to that, but that's the main way it's used. So I can't see through it. It's pretty much the big thing. Although I will say that a lot of this stonework's heavy enough that I can't see through most of it anyway.
Was that a bad sign?
It's not a good sign. I don't know if it's bad, but it, somebody was hiding something, or somebody felt it was necessary. So,
Have you come across anything like this before?
I guess I've seen pieces of this before, but never like this whole thing. I don't know. This is a lot of lead. This is a lot of lead for a abandoned tower, I guess. So.
As they're having this conversation, Zahir, you do come up to the levers, and you can read the plaques, knowing that you know Celestial.
I was gonna ask if there had been any inscribing throughout this entire.
Yeah, once you got to the levers, right above each of the levers, there were little plates. The first lever, which is the leftmost, the plaque above it says "Release Daylight Defender." The second lever, which is the middle lever, says "Seal the Breach." The third lever, which is the rightmost lever, which is the one that has keyholes, says "Open the Breach."
Release the Daylight Defender.
Do not do that under any circumstances.
Daylight, it means good.
Daylight means cleansed. Cleansed means sterile.
Cleanse means evil is purged.
We are
above
the evil, though.
above the left one, it says seal, or not, excuse me, it says release the Daylight Defender. Above the center one, it says seal the breach, and above the right one, it says open the breach.
And with that, I would like to say that, just to reiterate, you do have the lever. The leftmost lever is in the upward, the middle is in the downward, and the right one is in the upward, which is reflected on Tailspire as well. Thankfully, Tailspire, thank you for letting me change the positions of the levers. That's pretty neat. That's pretty neato stuff.
Time for torches. All right. Well, so
time for torches, yeah, for sure.
Do we just throw the middle one up and then the right one down?
No. We do not do anything without thinking about it thoroughly. We have two skeletal bodies.
I mean,
You seem to have a history of levers there, Virden.
I don't have a history of levers. I have at least a passing knowledge on dead bodies and mechanisms. This is clearly a magical place with mechanisms built around preventing magical scrying and such. I just feel like we shouldn't do anything hastily, especially when there's a situation where my thought is my main thought is also Zahir I guess Nathan, did Zahir tell us what they all said?
Yes, I read them out too.
Cool. Just wanted to make sure before I just assumed. Well, hearing open the breach, and there's two keys. That seems like the most significant lever and also the best path forward. If we could find keys, and perhaps that would release that lever to go down, then that seems like the best option.
Well, I imagine we'll have to unseal it in the first place.
Perhaps.
But yes, I imagine we'll probably need these. Well, we should.
I guess failing to find a key, perhaps we could flip that open. But I'm gonna go look over the other body in the center of the room and see if we can find a key real quick.
As you're having this conversation and you making your way over there, Aksov does say, honestly, I mean, a place like this, I would not presume that their locks would be very easy to pick. But if we cannot find the keys, maybe I can get in there and hopefully have my hand at it. But that is obviously very risky. But at this point, you're walking over. Go ahead and roll your investigation check there, my friend. Also, Morello, is there anything you'd like to do besides looking back?
Did
And if-
anyone check the corpse or like the body that's right?
No, no one did. They just looked at the sword. If you would like to make an investigation check. What was your investigation check, Bearden?
Mine was 22.
22.
Or
Holy
23.
shit. 23. Okay.
I built my character to do certain things, alright? I made myself a detective wizard who dances.
Okay.
So a techno wizard.
I'm just waiting for Marlo here.
Look up.
Oh. Hmm? Wait, for what?
Investigation, homie.
Oh, 11.
Okay. You hearing this, you step forward and you start checking the body. You do find a similar coin purse. It does hold within it 12 gold. You, Virden, as you're searching every nook and cranny of this individual, you check all up and down, and you do find another similar coin purse. This one only containing 8 gold pieces and 4 silver. However, as you're like, nothing really of note, you're like, ah, shit, I should probably check the boots. And as you take off the leftmost boot, you see attached at the ankle bone, you can see that there is a key within the boot.
Did I check the similar place on the other body?
You did not.
I think I'll say this to the group, especially seeing Zahir over there is like, hey, and I'll hold up the key. It's like, check the boot behind the ankle and the left boot. Probably check them both. Found a key here. Hopefully this works.
And as you pull out the key, you do notice that it is relatively simple in construction. However, it is got that gold kind of coloration to it. Zahir, as you check the boot, there's nothing within those boots. And then Morello, as you check the boots, there's nothing within those boots.
Nothing on this guy.
Nothing on this guy.
Well, let's make sure this key even fits then, and I'll make my way over to that lever.
Okay, as you make your way over to this rightmost lever, you take out the key, or you hold the key.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Look like it'll even fit. Like just.
Looking at the keyhole construction and the kind of the end of the keyhole, it does look like it would fit.
I'm gonna try the top keyhole. Put it in.
Okay, as you slide it in, it slides in easily. You kind of it moves a little bit, but it kind of has to set within the actual mechanism. But it does fit.
If it feels true enough, I'm like, well, Aksov, I got a bad idea. If we want,
I have a feeling I know what this is going.
yeah, it's about timing, my friend. I think I turn my key when you turn your picks. Perhaps we get this up. But if we want to try to release the seal before this, so maybe we see what happens then. And I'll take my key out, seeing if that's what we want to do. Taking that middle lever up.
Wait, doesn't that close the seal?
No, the middle lever is
Seems to be
close
sealed.
the seal, and it's down. I believe the down position is activated, but we
Yes.
truly have no way of knowing.
Okay.
Would you like me to throw the lever?
If we all agree on it, I would like to throw the top lever up, or the middle lever up.
I want to make sure I'm
the daylight
inside.
defender could help us.
You're making sure you're inside the room.
I'm inside the room, and I'm gonna turn
Yeah.
towards the levers and just cover myself with my shield.
Okay, so Denrick, what are you doing?
I'll just do the same.
Okay, you'll just kind of step over here then.
I'll move over to Aksov, and I'll stand in front of Aksov.
Okay, so he kind of backs up a little bit as you kind of occupy this space.
If you want, Zahir, if you want to step away, or however we want to do this, I'm comfortable trying to flip that top lever. I feel like
throw
it can. If you're good throwing it, yeah, then I'll step back with Aksov and
I will do it.
Denrick.
Okay.
I throw the lever up.
All right, as you go and you grab it and you're like, okay, here we go. As you go to throw it up, it's locked in its place.
Seems we may need to
I think
unlock it.
we'll wait a minute to see if anything happens.
As you
Like, is there any give at all, or is it just stock still?
it is stock still. Would like to open a lever. Fuck no.
Well, it makes it go up.
Yeah, I know, and it's not going up.
Oh, it's actually not going up.
Dang.
No, correct. It is not going up. It is locked in place. Like you went to throw it. You're like, I got this, and like it kind of like it was a weird reaction, or it was a weird kind of feeling because you were like, like when like you think the motion of something is going to lead you somewhere, and then it doesn't. You kind of have that oh shit like feeling. It's kind of how it was. You're like, wait, it didn't go, and it's locked, solid in place.
Yeah, like
Maybe
missing the
we
last
need
stair.
to. Maybe we need to do the
Exactly.
locks then. Maybe let me try this real quick and.
Yeah.
Maybe we try this legitimately. Maybe I turn the key top first. Let me try this real quick.
Okay, so you step
And I'll
back
put
forward.
The key. Yeah, I'll put the key in the top, and I'll turn it.
As you slide it in and you take a deep breath and you go to twist it, and it sits in place.
Let's try now. So
A whole half clockwise turn as it now sits inverted in its space.
Okay. I will
So
throw the
here-
lever again.
Yeah.
It still remains in place.
Alright, we
Will
may need
Aksov?
both. Well, can you try the key on the bottom as well?
I believe is the key stuck in place?
As you go to twist it, it does turn as it turns back up to the top.
To try to remove it.
You can take it out.
Well, could I put it back in? Yeah, let me try the bottom key. Oh, let's try that too.
As
just
you-
make sure.
As you slot it, it does give slightly, but it does not. It doesn't like some of the teeth of the key do seem to have fittings, but it does not go all the way in with ease.
All right. Well, and I think I'll turn to Aksov. It's like I don't know if this helps you at all if you went to pick this, but this key here, and I hold it up and show him the kind of the grooves on it. Almost fits, but doesn't quite turn the bottom.
Actually, that is
as he walks up.
that is smart. Just from a DM to player standpoint, as you show him the key, as Aksov then will look it over, he kind of investigates.
And
He
like
kind
to
of
guide
analyzes it.
May I
Honestly,
guide?
you can start to see some sweat is starting to appear on his brow as he's like hyper analyzing it, and you sit there and like you're like, okay, I'll show him. And it's been like a minute, and he's still looking at it.
Mm.
And then another 20, 30 seconds go by, and he's okay. I think I got this.
All right.
Can I also guide Aksov? Can we give him 2?
No, no,
Double guidance.
no. But as do you reinsert the key there, Bearden?
I'll reinsert it and I'll turn it. Then I'll step aside for Aksov to work.
Okay, so as you turn it, and then you step off to the side to have him work.
I'll stand next to Sir Denrick
Okay.
in case
Oh.
shit pops off.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to stand next to the
Really do.
fucking meat.
Sounds good. So I will say this.
you tried to bring other
with
people.
guidance, and because of your big brain play of analyzing the key, and because it partially fit, he does have some sort of understanding. So I will give him advantage on this check.
Oh hell yeah! Advantage
go.
and guidance. Come on, don't fuck it up,
Come
boy.
on.
2 and a
Don't miss
3.
this shot.
All right, hold on. Let me pull up his stats. All right, here we go. The dice hold. Oh shit!
It doesn't work, I'm
The
opening
dice will hold. What
the
happens?
defender.
Well, the first roll was a natural 1.
Okay, buddy. Let's not do that.
Second roll's also an.
You're supposed to be good at this.
I was waiting for the moment where he needed to, use his expertise in the tools and whatever it is to fuck it up, so that you guys can also give him shit for that. His secondary roll was
He's
a
bad at life.
his secondary roll was a 6.
Bro, this guy
Um,
sucks at
Plus
everything.
plus 7
Okay.
is going to
Okay.
be
Plus
Plus
guidance.
4.
13 plus a D4. You want to roll D4 for me?
I can roll it. That is a 4.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
17. Okay.
Dang. Big brains all around.
Um.
I pull daylight defender.
So as you can see, he's sweating. He's sweating meticulously, and you can see that with a natural 1, he's like messing with it, and you can hear like a. He's like he quickly recoils the lockpicks and goes. He kind of like releases some sweat, or wipes some sweat from his brow. Okay, you got this. You got this. As he puts the tools back in, you can hear him. You hear the clicking of things within as he navigates, and you can hear, and he is like so close to this lock as he's working it.
Can I like maintain a little pressure on the lever slightly upwards? Not enough to like fully.
The middle one.
Like enough.
The middle
enough
one
to know if it gives.
Okay. So as you hear a click, and he's like, I think I got this. All of a sudden, the leftmost lever slams down,
God fucking damn it!
and you
Oh,
as
no.
it,
God fucking damn
We were
it!
too
And
lazy
you-
to look for the other key.
and you hear as you all instinctually hear the noise behind you as the wall that's about 5 feet, and I'll show where this wall would actually be opening here.
Can I do actions after the end of this?
Hold on.
Blade
Oh,
City.
no.
Hey, perfect time to almost.
As
Oh
my
no, the
asshole
wall is
fucker.
hollow.
Holy shit, can I? Oh, there we go.
I don't want to fight a Solar.
There's no way.
There's plenty of ways.
Oh, of
My
course
God
God wouldn't kill us like that. He wouldn't
don't-
send down
There
one
was
of
no
his
com-
angels
There's
to
no
just
combat,
fucking.
guys. No combat's gonna happen down here.
No combat will happen. We will just.
No, that's a good
Die.
point. I didn't think about it. Why would there be combat? Yeah, we're good. God, that's so fucking big. Why? Get it out of here.
It only has
Man,
10 health. It only has 10
Get it
health.
out of here.
So
Jared.
you hold on. You haven't seen it yet because you hear the wall as it slowly descends into the floor. As you turn around, you just see this what looked like normal wall is now descending into the floor, and from within you hear as you hear the loud, thunderous steps of a large entity walking around. And as the noise gets closer, you can start to see light emitting from within this space. And you hear armor clanking and clattering amongst itself, kind of like how Sir Denric, when he shifts and moves. And you see this hulking set of armor veer around the corner and stand in front of you. It does not have the shield. It just has a single massive longsword in its right hand. As it steps there, you can see it is a fully kitted suit of plate armor. You cannot see anything underneath. However, within this visored helm, you see what looks to be flickering of this like goldish kind of energy, as it almost is emitting from kind of a neck portion as it's kind of flickering up into this visored helmet. At which point, as it stops, you all kind of sit there, kind of holding your breath. As all of a sudden, as this helmet emits with bright radiant light, as the light now emits from the visors, it shoots out as it then starts to lumber across the room towards all of you, which is where we'll stop tonight's session.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a very important question?
What is your important question?
From the time the wall started moving to this situation where we roll initiative, is it possible that an amount of seconds took place for me to take some very important actions?
Yeah. Can I start dancing?
I would say
A claptrap.
I'll give you one action.
Okay, that's fine.
What?
Yeah.
You can either. How about this? I'll give you one action. I'll give all of you one action. You can think about it. We will not decide yet. I'll ask what that action is, and then we'll roll initiative at the start of next session. But we'll go ahead.
An initiative's worth action, bonus action, or just action?
Just a single action.
Could I do a
Well,
bonus
no.
action instead of
I
an
would say only an action because obviously there's the fear and there's the adrenaline of what is happening. So I would say that amidst all of that, you're like, oh shit, okay, let me do one thing, and then it goes forward. Is what I'll say. So I'll give you an action or a bonus action. It can be either or. If something was to be a bonus action, and that's what you want to do instead of an action, you can do that that's no issue.
Cool.
But one thing, as you all turn and are now facing towards this ginormous set of armor.
Daylight fucking guardian. Yeah.
Yeah, the Daylight Defender, as
Daylight
it was
Defender?
inscribed.
I guess daylight.
Defend.
Daylight on his defender.
We're on your team.
Oh man, honestly, I was gunning, I was rooting for you. I thought you'd get Aksov over the hurdle.
It's
But
too
I
bad
guess
he sucks
I
at life,
thought
bro.
Aksov
This man
would do his
sucks.
fucking job for once.
Dude, I could have picked that better than him.
I will say this: he rolled 2 natural 20s on investigation. I don't know what you want.
We
For
didn't
him to
find
actually
any.
do his
Roll him on the
job.
board.
Hey,
He
if
is
there-
already
if-
used all his-
20s
he used all
on
his
no
luck.
traps. I
Hey.
can watch this.
If there was
That
something,
was an at 20. For all you know, it did nothing too.
I mean, yeah, technically,
Hold
he
on.
rolled 2 nat 20s on his traps and then failed this trap, so.
hey, to be fair, if there was something there, you would have been happy that it rolled not 20. Just because there wasn't there doesn't mean it just. You can discredit him if you want. I feel bad for him because I knew that's when it was gonna fuck up, and it did. So I was like, shit.
You just
It's
knew,
all in the
deep
story.
down.
It's
It's
all in
like,
the story.
Did you
Hey.
give him
The dice
advantage
tell the-
before or after you got
we
the
gave him
6 or the-
advantage and
that
guidance, and he still went click, 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 clack. And
No,
I
I gave him advantage before the roll. And
right.
but I honestly I was not expecting in that one. That was ass. I'm not gonna lie. I was like I expect maybe a low number. He could maybe break the threshold +7, like, you know, but not 1 into a 6.
Plus 7 is really good. So
I will say this
yeah.
too. I will say this. I want you to understand something. With all of your stuff, and I only say this because I'm defending my NPCs, because I mean, yeah, he fucked up, but y'all.
That is
Oh, you're
valid.
right.
He has been getting a lot of flack.
But I will say this. Hold on. Let me say this.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook. Let me cook.
Let me tell you something.
With all of that combined, it was a 17. The DC of that lock was a 20 because of the circumstances of this ruins. It's not going to be as simple just deep doot dot. Oh, cool! I'm in my fucking a random dude's room. No, this is like an ancient ruins that is not going to be just easily
The
entered.
shadiest dude we've
Man.
met, and he has guidance, bro. He should be up in himself, bro. Come on.
As another DM, when you said 7, and then 17, and Todd went, okay. In my head, I'm like, oh no. I don't think it was a 15. I don't think it was a 15. I don't think it was a 15.
In a dungeon?
We got the
Never.
door.
We do base 5. We're fucked.
I feel like we should have
If we
kept
got the
looking
door
flaky.
open, I was gonna summon our cool friend anyways.
Bro, imagine.
Like dead ass, as that lever went down, my first thought was, well, Sir Denrick, you got your wish.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
Someone was gonna do it at some point
Here
anyway.
he comes. Overhand swing.
Oh, okay. Well, honestly,
As he swings and
oh.
he heads everyone in the party. In
that's
one go.
amazing. Honestly, hey, I'll just say this: I'm happy.
bastard.
I'm happy y'all get to fight my enemy. I'm happy. I mean,
What if we
I'm
don't
sure
fight
you are,
him?
you
What if
son of a
he knows
bitch.
me? What if he's a homie?
you know what? Hey, we will.
What if he's
Hey,
homie?
we will find out next week. So we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Hey, thank you so much
Hey,
for
homies
joining
go
us.
homies, dude.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us on this dungeon crawl, at least the beginning of this. We will go ahead and pick it up next week and see where this combat unfolds and where this ruin leads deeper into. But we appreciate y'all for hanging with us, just supporting us. And so we hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And we will go ahead and hopefully catch you next week. Take it easy.
Yeah, see ya.